They brought us to this country as a labor force. We built a foundation and they hate us for it. They hate us for it. We built a foundation and they ain't pay us for it. They ain't pay us for it, but they gon' pay for it. Already prayed for it. Non-believers didn't pray for us. Non-believers didn't pray for us. We're black and we built a foundation. Stone by stone, generation to generation. Vultures said we had no culture. Them vultures got a Jay-Z poster. Them vultures got a lacy culture. Vultures eat what they didn't kill. Vultures sleep what they didn't build. They brought us to this country as a labor force. We built a foundation and they hate us for it. We built a foundation and they ain't pay us for it. They ain't pay for it, but they gon' pay for it. Already paid for it. Now believe pray for it. Now believe and pray for us. We're black and we built a foundation. Stone by stone, generation to generation. Vultures said we had no culture. And vultures got a Jay-Z poster.
Get on your cash and sign it. We're going to start getting some work done, family. So please get them donations and get them in.
I'm Jamaican.
You ain't black.
Then what am I?
Jamaican.
I'm black.
You Jamaican.
No.
You Jamaican.
It's a difference, huh?
It's a difference.
Okay, describe the difference.
If I go to your...
What color is my skin? What color is my skin?
Yellow.
Okay, and it derives from?
Even white derived from black. Even white derived from black. All colors in the color spectrum come from the black. But y'all have been classified as Jamaicans.
When I fill out a paperwork here in the States, it doesn't say Jamaican anywhere.
How can you describe me as being black? You have a name. You're Jamaican.
And you're American.
Well, I'm black American.
Okay, I'm black Jamaican.
It don't say that. You're making something up now. It don't say that. Our paperwork, we have to check something. When you go back home, you don't check nothing. You're automatic Jamaican.
Right.
I'm not automatic American. I'm automatic black. You see what I'm saying? So when we say black, we talking us. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't us. Don't y'all got Jamaican food?
Yes.
Don't y'all have a Jamaican culture?
Yes.
We don't. So we those seeds. We are not African seeds.
No.
We're not. We don't have no African bloodline other than what the white boy have.
And have been seeing it among black immigrants living in America. Just because you have African roots, it will not automatically make you a black American. Black Americans are not only defined by the color of their skin or their origin. They are also defined by their lineage and their unique experience in America. And that is why when that Puerto Rican man said, my ancestors are from Africa, so I can call myself a black American, that is where the issue comes from. And this is not only about Ruiz, that is the name of that man, the Puerto Rican man who is calling himself a black American. It's the trends that we're seeing happening in America. We are seeing many Latinos migrating from Dominican Republic, from Trinidad and Tobago, from Jamaica. Issue that is happening in the black American community. And that is why you have seen black Americans starting a movement of delineating themselves from these other groups. And I want these immigrants to understand that when these black Americans are pushing back, it is not because because they hate them. It's not because they want division. It's not because they don't want unity. But it is because they want to preserve their own identity. They want to protect their own lineage. Because think about it. If everybody can go to America and then start saying that I am a black American just because I have dark skin color or because I have an African ancestry, then what is going to happen over time? That black American identity is going to be watered down. According to what we have already started seeing, confusion has already started happening.
Bruh.
Want to get in the ring with Mayweather?
What's up, my brother, man? What's going on, man?
You just hanging in there.
Hello, you glitching. What's going on?
Oh, no, I'm chilling, man. Just doing my thing on TikTok and YouTube.
Oh shit! I just want to say what's up, man. That's it, man. What's going on today? What are you talking about today?
I'm talking about are Africans and people of the Caribbean, are they black ethnically?
Ethnically, I'll say yes. Most people don't go. Most people don't. They don't go by the race. They go by tribe. Igbo, Fulani.
Right. Okay. All right. Start right there. When you become Fulani, you're ethnically Fulani. You know why? Everything you do in life, Fulani is associated with it. So that means that they're Fulani ethnically, and their nationality will be Nigerian. Now, where does black come into play? How are they ethnically black and ethnically Fulani? Because there's a language and culture that goes with Fulani. There's no language and culture that goes with black.
That one I agree with you. Black is a race.
Right. Now, who created the racial construct? Was it Africans or the white man?
Well, people say white, people say in the Bible, the Quran, you know, it comes everywhere.
Hey, what? No, there's no race in the Bible. You got ethnic people in the Bible. Right, but race is a category where lump up people who are different in every way possible, and it is lumped up for the purpose of a census to collect data. That's a whitey man thing.
No, I disagree with you. In the Bible, it say Ham is a black race.
It don't say race. Come on, man. I know the Bible. They don't say that. But
it say Ham is a father of the black race. That's what it's saying in the Bible.
The race, bro. The race is not in there. The word race.
They said the father of the black race.
Oh my God!
All right, look.
Stop the cap.
It didn't say that, but I'm not using the Bible as the authority of history in what we're talking about.
Dumb?
You just said Igbo.
Are you dumb?
Is there a black culture in Igbo? In the Igbo?
Are you talking about race? Or are you talking about identity?
Okay, race. You keep saying race.
Oh my God!
White people. All right, look. Let me drop you down because you're not really understanding what race is.
I know race is black.
No, it's not, man. That's something white people made up, bro. The Mill Capital.
What's good?
What's good, family? What you got? How you want to add to the conversation?
I felt the FBAs are a lot of them are spreading confusion and hate.
Stop the cap.
No.
Yes.
Bruh.
So you don't see none of this confusion, hate from people of Africa, people from the continent Africa or the Caribbean. You don't see that on their side?
No.
Okay, so the person that came on the daily show, right? The Haitian woman who came in there and said Black Americans stink or something.
I'm an Exodus because those comments are just ignorant. So
wait.
You are grown and mature individuals, right?
Okay, dude, you're gonna talk over me, my guy. So what we're not gonna do is sit there and say, hey, that was an ignorant comment from somebody from Africa or the Caribbean, and don't apply that same energy on the FBA who also said an ignorant comment. So that same No,
I hear you.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Now you hear me because you're on mute. So ignorance happens in every ethnic group. So if people can be chalked up as, well, that's just an ignorant Jamaican or an ignorant Nigerian. Well, that was an ignorant FBA. So what I'm not going to let you do is try to poison the well from that one ignorant FBA person, but won't allow that poison the well happen with that one ignorant Jamaican or Nigerian or African person. Now, come off mute and respond to that, or you gotta get off, because I'm not gonna have this back and forth toxic conversation with people who are clearly not my equals on this right here at all. Matter of fact, the energy you even came with, I'm gonna get you out of here. Yeah. Let me finish what I'm doing. Yeah, give me somebody more. So the Guyanese, well, the FBA Guyanese sister came through and showed, like, well, did you not hear us talk? Like, when he just said what he said, because she said the same thing. FBAs say a hate group. I explained that. I explained lone wolves. He come on and say the same thing. I'm like, yo, did you not just hear what I said to her? Like, so right off the back, I'm like, okay, yeah, this dude trolling. Anyway, let me finish what I was saying. Let me finish. So, like I said, the white T man, as I explained to the sister, the white T man has constantly weaponized and diluted and stolen from us, Black Americans, and you could say even the indigenous people, by paper genocide. Okay, different ways, stealing land, all type of stuff. And now they're doing it through the word black, because they used paper genocide when they did the zoning laws. That's paper genocide. When they did restrictive covenants, paper genocide through exclusion. When they did the New Deal with the GI Bill, where they excluded Black American veterans coming home. That's called paper genocide, all through exclusion. Okay, and now they're doing it today with the word black. We caught them. We got them. Check ball up top. You fouling. You did check ball up top. Now that point does not count. Take that off the board. I'm still up 20-0. Take that off the board. 1v1. So again, no one outside of us, who you would call foundational Black Americans, are ethnically Black. So digest that. That don't mean something wrong or you're missing something. You are ethnically Caribbean. You're ethnically African. What's wrong with that? All right. Jamaican people, Nigerian people, they are racially Black because Western powers put them on a piece of paper, right? So you guys are racially Black on a form. That's it in America. But you're not ethnically or nationally Black, right? You're not ethnically or nationally Black in your homeland. Your country's called Nigeria. Your flag is Nigerian. It's not the Black flag. You don't have the Black American heritage flag of Melvin Charles of 1967. You don't have that. And it's okay. You got a Nigerian flag. That don't mean your flag is better or worse. That don't mean our flag is better and worse. But you have your own flag. It ain't the Black flag. We got the only Black flag, the Black American heritage flag. That's it. And now we got the Foundation Black America. We got two flags: Foundation Black American Heritage flag. The Foundation Black American flag, and we got the Black American Heritage flag. We got two Black flags. You guys got zero. Okay. You're not ethnically Black. You're ethnically whatever your homeland is. And you're not nationally Black. You're nationally whatever your nation is. Right? The names. Now listen, family. The names of some of their countries. Watch this. The names of some of their countries are exonyms given to them by their colonizers. The Spanish and the Spanish and British took the name Taino, took the Taino word, the Taino word, Taino, I said Taino, the Taino word. How you pronounce this?
I want you to understand, overstand, and understand what I'm saying right now. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand what I'm saying right now.
Let's get a good pronunciation. 1 second. Okay, Zymica. I had to get it right. Zymica, right? Zymica. One more time. One more time. Zymica. So Zymica was what I'm explaining. That what the British and the Spanish took the Taino word Zymica and turned it into Jamaica. So I would say that the Jamaicans should be trying to reclaim their name. Stop trying to be black and reclaim Zymica, right? And get rid of their oppressor's name, Jamaica. So Jamaica is an exonym. Exonym means outsiders renamed you, disrespecting your inside name. Your inside name was Zymica or Zymica. It wasn't Jamaica. So you guys not even Jamaicans. You're Jamaican because the whitey guy says so. But you got to take the power back. You got to do what we did. Take a name, call yourself it, and put empowerment behind it. Make your music represent it. Make your politics represent it. And it's easier for y'all because y'all in your own country. Y'all could be Zymica tomorrow. Look how fast Trump came up with MAGA. And look how MAGA's expanded. Trump got MAGA internationally known, let's say in about 3 months through social media. So it doesn't really take long to rename yourself. Trump got everybody, the entire world, knowing who MAGA is in about 3 to 6 months. Less than a year for sure. The entire world knew what MAGA was. So it's not hard. He put empowerment to back in. People backed it. People made MAGA a real thing. Now MAGA's a real thing. So I'm saying Jamaicans, what you guys should do, stop trying to be black because the white man said you're black, and go ahead, stop being Jamaican because the white man said you're Jamaican, and be Zymica and be Zymicans. Take your endonym back. Do what Kwame Nkrumah did. He renamed the region of land close to what it was called before, Ghana. Y'all need to get rid of Jamaica and take on Zymica. Okay? It's not hard. All right, we got some folks want to join. Okay, so before I get Emil Capital back on, because it looks like he's trolling, let me get FBA Rock, and I got somebody, I think FBA Rock trying to join. FBA Rock, you want to come more?
Nah, my bad, boss. I was trying to tap the screen.
All right, no problem. Appreciate it. All right, so let's get Emil Capital. Now, Emil Capital can't dialogue with me at all intellectually. That's why he's trolling. Okay, Emil, you want to give it a second try?
Bro, I'm not trolling. I just want to speak facts and understand like everybody understands, bro.
Right, hold on.
That's it.
Hold on, wait. So we're going to dialogue. So let's confirm the facts. So what's your first fact?
All right. So
wait. So before we establish that, would you call yourself FBA? Like, can you trace your lineage to U.S. chattel slavery?
No. Parents was in Haiti and around the early 70s. My grandpa's came here, so ever since I've been in America.
So would you say you're Haitian?
Nationality, yes, but I'm black first.
Okay.
Because I'm in America, like, hold on. What else not to like? Okay, I don't understand.
Okay, got you. We're going to get some understanding. Remember, you say you want to speak facts, right?
Yeah, I want to speak facts.
Okay.
Stop
so
the cap.
1804 is when Haiti got the independence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with Haiti's history?
Yes.
Okay, so this should be, I am too. So this should be an easy conversation. All right, so hold on. We're establishing facts first. So in 1804, when you guys successfully ran off the French, and the Spanish. You guys, Dessalini, through Dessalini, he said this is Haiti and we are the Haitians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he say? Wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go. So he didn't say we're black. He said we're Haitians, right?
But the thing that people not understanding is that Haiti was going to be the first black republic.
No. First of all,
that's not facts.
No, we're speaking facts, right? Did Haitians speak English or a version of French?
A version of French because of where they're at.
Right. So the word black was not in their mouth at all, right? We're speaking facts, right? Black is an English word, right?
Yes.
Okay. So black, nothing. You guys will be the first of. You're going to be the first of something French and Haitian related. Okay. So not about hype. So we know you guys didn't speak English. So BLACK was not in your vocabulary at all as a people. So now that's a fact.
I'm gonna ask you this. Just one thing. If you look it up, okay, go ChatGPT and see if Haiti wasn't the first black republic, because I'm telling you, I'm saying black was in their vocabulary when that's what it is.
Okay, hey brother, you're talking to me, guy. Like, I'm an educator. I deal with academia. Now, there's something called anachronistic. You know what that is?
Educate me then.
That is when you go back in time and rename something that wasn't used, a word. Call something a word that did not exist at that time. So and you can ask ChatGPT this. You can say, ChatGPT, are you anachronistically going back calling Haiti the first black something? It's going to say yes. Okay, because Haiti is responding to you in English. You're typing in English, right? So it's going to respond to you in English. It's not going to respond to you in French. So, but if you wrote in French or you spoke in French, it'll respond to you in French. So it won't say the word BLACK. So
French is not it. French is not it. It's Creole.
Right, but it's a version of French, though, right? Just like AAV is a version of English.
It's like patois.
No, Jamaicans can't speak Creole.
Oh my God!
All right. So anyway, let's move past the hypotheticals. That's a rabbit hole. Let's deal with facts. Like you said, facts. Not we were going to, none of that stuff. Facts. So is it a fact that Dessalini said this land is Haiti and not black, right? God damn. Who want cricket sound?
Haiti is a black republic.
Hey, bro, I'm asking you a question about Dessalini. When he established the name of the island and the name of the people, did he call you guys the land Haiti and the people Haitians, or did he call the land black and the people blacks?
Haiti and yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Which one? Yes to which one? Haiti and Haitians or black and blacks?
It was Haiti. The island is Haiti.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's the indigenous term, my guy. I'm saying, well, no, we're doing English, right? And we're doing English. So Haiti is what it's called. It's called Haiti, right? Haiti, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the people are called of the land are called Haitians, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
Right. So the ethnically and don't you guys have Haitian politics?
Yes.
Haitian money?
Of course.
Right. And you have Haitian citizenship, right?
Yes.
Right. So you're Haitian ethnically and you're Haitian as a nationality. You're not black at all. So now when does the black come in?
If you look in the Constitution, you would see it.
I will not see it. I know your Constitution, bro. I'm the right one. Tell me what I'm gonna see. I know it starts with the N, right? Tell me what I'm gonna see, so I can explain to you how that. Yeah, I know you know your own. Yeah, I know you.
I'm not gonna say it because you're gonna say I'm fabricating stuff.
No. I know the word. I don't think you do. I think I know more about Haitian history than you is what I'm saying. I don't think you know what you're talking about. I think you're just bluffing me. I know more than you about. Okay, so now they didn't speak English. So what word did they use in the Constitution? Go.
You can't hit me with a question when I'm asking you.
You didn't ask me anything.
So wasn't Haiti a black republic?
No.
Yes or no?
No. No.
Okay,
Now,
then this conversation's over with.
okay. Yeah, you don't know your. That's crazy. Hey, look.
No.
Hey,
It's just that you won't say
no,
the facts.
I said no. Now watch this. Now, when you say black, when you say black,
if you forgot history. You forgot the history.
hey, bro, I'm asking you. Like, okay, let's go. Let's entertain that. When you say Black Republic, was that black being used as an adjective to describe how people look?
That's for everyone in the world.
No. Do you know who Prince is? Do you know the artist Prince?
You mean from Georgia?
The artist Prince,
or Freemason?
No, Prince, the artist Prince, the Prince, who became the formerly known artist, whatever the symbol. That guy, Purple Rain. You know Prince? Okay.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Stop the cap.
Does black describe his color?
I guess.
Bro, all right, dude, you just trolling. All right, family. Thank you, man. Thank you.
You're a time-wasting tether. This is time-wasting tether babble.
Are you dumb?
My fault if I missed y'all before. How you doing, Tony Banks?
What up?
What up, family?
I gotta ask.
Sure.
Like, what's with this whole like FBA thing? It's to me, dude, it feels like it's come out of nowhere in the last like 3-4 months.
Stop the cap.
So the FBA thing is actually, it started around 2016 with ADOS, 2017.
Let's
so
get this
FBA was another name to name Black Americans, right? So ADOS was first around 2016, 17. FBA came around.
Wait, who's Adolf?
Okay, so ADOS was the first attempt to identify Black Americans specifically. So ADOS stands for American Descendants of Slavery.
Dude, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. How come I've never heard of this stuff, dude?
Stop the cap.
Nah, well, it's fairly new. Like, it's not. I mean,
but
like,
you said 2000. You said 2016. Like, I was living in Cleveland, Ohio, during 2016. Like, I've never heard this.
Yeah,
like, I'm not saying you're making it up. I'm just saying, like,
I mean, well, you can't say I'm making it up. You could just Google it. You could type in ADOS, put in ADOS reparations. It's going to give you a whole, wiki. You know what I mean? Wiki, Google. It's going to tell you when it started. So, but like you said, you're in Cleveland, so it's slowly. But the average Black American don't know about it, to be honest. So it's like slowly growing on people. It's through social media and different avenues. It's slowly growing. But the average, so don't feel like you left out. The average Black American have not heard of it. So it's slowly growing. It's getting legs. But on social media, it's big. Like in your social life, yeah, you're not going to probably hear about it. But social media is definitely trending.
I'm telling you, Adolf is not trending. Like, even when I Google it on the internet, like, unfortunately, the first thing, maybe it's a branding thing. The first thing that pops off is Adolf.
Yeah, well, it's right. It's going to always, if you type in FBA, the first thing is going to come up is some like thing with autism or education. So yeah, when you type in acronyms, the most popular, or the more searched out acronyms is going to pop up first. But that's why you got to put a little context to it. Put ADOS, put reparations, and you're only going to get American Descendants of Slavery.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's on me in.
Right. Oh. So what have you heard about FBA? You said 3 months ago. What have you heard?
Dude, like the FBA community, like it's a bunch of like pseudoscience.
On TikTok. Wait. Say on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get some of the FBA spaces. Yeah, they
I would love to because I hear FBA say things like all indigenous people are Black. I'm like, that's not true. They immigrated from Asia. They say things like, oh, if you're mixed, you're not part of us. You're not part of the Black community.
Yeah, I don't know about those. Yeah, like I said.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. I'm like, there's racists, there's pseudo intellectuals. I mean, I got a lot of issues with the FBAs. Usually I'm arguing with these Trumpers, but lately these FBA dudes have been popping up.
Right now, that's why I'm on TikTok to clean that up, because a lot of toxicity as we're going around the FBA spaces, a lot of mean-spirited debates, and I'm here to clean that up. Well, this is my attempt. My attempt to, because on YouTube, I do my thing. So this TikTok space is new to me, so I'm trying to like get a jump start over here and clean up some of the FBA spaces.
Unfortunately, I hate to tell you, TikTok's all rage bait. So, like, if you're trying to be a genuine person, that's appreciative, but it's just the algorithm just pumps out fucking rage bait these days.
Oh, okay. So that's how it goes, right? So that's why it's crazy because that's the incentives to be a crazed fool. I get it.
100%. That's why you see people with the prompts and stuff, because you're scrolling on TikTok, you see that prompt, you get mad, you try to join the panel, and then bam, dude, you're fucking it doesn't to the algorithm if you're joining out of hate or if you're joining because you like it. It's it's the same thing to the system.
Okay. All right. So now let me briefly give you a recap or a rough draft on FBA. So FBA and ADOS is pretty much the same thing. It's just different acronyms to define the same people. So the people that's being defined or identified are Black Americans, right? Ethnical Black Americans, those who ancestry ties to U.S. chattel slavery, those who were brought here and was forced to do slave labor or mixed in with Europeans and indigenous, that group of people who was brought here to or have been forced to do forced labor to build America as we know today. Now, right. So what happens is that a term race has came about, and that term race, as you can mighty guess, it came from racist. So we have somebody called Walter Plecker. So in 1924, he came out. He was with the government. He was with government. He had a lot of legislative authority. So he came up with something called the Racial Integrity Act of 1924. So that's how back it was. Are you familiar with paper genocide? What happened to the indigenous people of America?
Yeah, where we put their kids in charter schools and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, we're talking about the reclassification to steal the land from them.
Yeah, but while we were stealing the land and exterminating them, we were also putting their kids in charter schools. But I mean, I can always learn more.
Yeah, well, I don't know who the we is, but I'm speaking about
we as the American government.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, well, I got nothing to do with that because my people.
And I got nothing to do with dropping bombs on children in Palestine, but we as Americans are doing it. So
well, you know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, but that's a stretch. We're dealing with the American government. Now, I can say that's not we. When I say Black America, that's not we. We were being Jim Crow, and our rights was being violated. So we were not in government, playing no influential role at all. That's why when you say we, that's you and your ethnic group. That's not Black Americans and ours. We were excluded from positions like that.
I mean, if that's your rationale, I mean, hey, dude, go ahead.
So were Black Americans influential in government at that time or no?
There were some Black Americans in governments, especially in the North, not as much in the South. Were they influential?
Yeah, that matters.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But okay, you're just guessing. All right. But we know.
No, I was estimating. I was judging it. I was making a mental calculation.
My guy, I gave you the act. It's called the Racial Integrity Act. That's by Walter Plecker. That literally was was passed to steal land from indigenous people. That got nothing to do with Black folks. Right.
Did I say you were wrong or not? Like, what's your intention?
No, you were saying we, and I was clarifying. Hey, the whatever we.
Hey, dude, listen. This is the thing, though. It's like, do you consider yourself American?
Yeah.
So part of our terrible history is also part of your terrible history. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. So are we going to talk back and forth? Or are you going to keep cutting in?
I mean, I would imagine you would be an adult and a serious person and not silly about this.
Okay, goodbye. Yeah.
You're going to kick.
Yeah. I'm going to kick you off. Get the hell out of here. Absolutely. Did you want to comment? No?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I thought you were talking to the other lady. Yeah. Well, personally, I'm Black, so I've heard a lot about like FBA, Foundational Black Americans, stuff like that. And it does seem like a controversial group. So I just wanted to hear you all's perspective, like what you stand for and like your, main ideologies.
All right, so let's go back. So what country are you originally from?
Well, my mother's from Guyana and my father is from the United States.
Okay. All right, so you're like black and Guyanese, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so there's millions of people that come under the name Black American or Foundation Black American. So if you argue with, like, for example, if I had a disagreement, let's say if a Guyanese person owed me money, like I cut his lawn, he didn't pay me, I can't say Guyanese people or they don't pay their debt, right? So when people say FBA this, FBA that, and they're including all of us from their personal limited experiences, like that ain't right. That's something that a white man would do. Like, they'll judge the whole based on a few, right?
Mm-hmm.
So FBA, as I'm explaining, is a term that's needed. It's a delineated term, foundational Black American, right? Because people from your homeland, Guyana, like they'll come over here, and again, it's no fault to themselves. There's a racial class, a racial category in America that's awaiting them. Now they're allowed to come over here and check that box, right? And now they're Black on paper, they're Black American on paper, they're African American on paper, but they're still Guyanese, in real life, at their homeland. When they identify themselves, they're going to still have their flag. They're not going to burn their flag and become, Black American. They're still Guyanese person, but on paper, to receive, or for government census purposes, and even to receive maybe some housing, government assistance, they are one of us, Black American. Now, the problem with us, with Black Americans, now again, this ain't got nothing to do with Guyanese people. This is for our government, because our government used that loophole. So the government says, okay, because that Guyanese person is able to be Black on paper, like you Black Americans are Black on paper, you Black Americans can never get justice or can never have redress for the historical harms that this government calls Black Americans, because according to the 14th Amendment, the Equal Protection Clause, that this country is not allowed to rectify historical harms based on race, mm-hmm. right? So because that's against the 14th Amendment. So we're not allowed to ever receive reparations or any other thing. Like if they want to like make us like tax free, or a discount on colleges, or free college for whatever years, that can never happen under race. So it's common sense that if we are fighting for reparations or redress for historical harms, we cannot identify as Black American, because everybody of African descent that comes to this country is Black American. That's a racial category that cannot exclude. They got to include everybody. So reparations for us is for everybody African descent, and reparations are not paid out through race. So that's a common solution. So you got to identify yourself outside of that box, that racial box. So hence FBA, Foundation Black American.
That makes a lot of sense, and I find that a lot of white people especially a lot of people tend to group all, I guess, Black people together, and they don't understand the distinction between like Black folks from the Caribbean or folks from Africa, or things like that. So I do see the point in having like a separate term for like foundation, like the FBAs or whatever. And just to clarify, FBAs, so your lineage is from like Africans who were taken from West Africa like via chattel slavery, right?
So when you say Africans were taken, who took them?
White people, like
no,
yeah.
No, white tea. You gotta say white tea on TikTok. No, white tea people bought them. They were taken and enslaved by Africans and sold to white tea people.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you believe that FBAs were still their own group of people during that time when Africans were enslaving them?
Well, the Africans say that. The Africans will tell you they did not enslave their own. They would say they went to other places across Africa to enslave other people. They would tell you we did not enslave our own. Yeah, so we were different from them way back then.
So what exactly are we then?
Okay, so Jamaicans, right? Well, you just said Guyanese people, right? So aren't your family Guyanese?
My mom, yeah.
Why isn't she African?
Well, she's a mixture of a lot of different, because Guyana doesn't have one specific race.
I know, because you got the East Indians there. I understand that, and the indigenous people there as well. But what I'm saying is, why didn't you identify her as African? Why did you feel the need to identify her as Guyanese?
Well, because she ain't
African, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right. We're not African either. We're Black American. And
So
Haitians
we're
aren't
not African. How were we in Africa?
Say that again?
If we're not African, then why were we in Africa when the other Africans enslaved us? What are we if we're not African, if we were on that continent?
No, you were never in Africa, and nobody.
Or I guess my ancestors,
right.
Your ancestors.
Well, I don't have any ancestors that was in Africa. All my ancestors was American. I know.
So how did they get to America? Are they indigenous?
Okay, so some people were enslaved by Africans and sold to whitey people, and they came over here in the 1600s, and a lot of them mixed in with the indigenous population and the whitey man themselves. So it became a homogenous group, homogenous person. So they're mixed with they're combined. The combined ingredients is African, European, indigenous, and that made a new person. Just like the Guyanese person was indigenous from over there.
Okay. But you still like acknowledge that you have ancestors from the continent of Africa, right? Because in order to make that homogenous group, you just said it, European, indigenous, and African.
Right. So I'm speaking for myself. Right. So I say I got African ancestry, European ancestry, and indigenous.
Right.
Yeah, but that's my mix. But you can be an ethnic group without being exact like the other person. So for example, like let's say if one person came from Africa, right, to America, and they didn't mix with nobody, like they're 100% African, but they still went through U.S. chattel slavery and Jim Crow. Yeah, they would ethnically be me. Like we'd be the same, even though our genetic makeup is different.
Well, if they went through chattel slavery, if their lineage was a part of chattel slavery, then they're not 100% African. They are guaranteed to have European or indigenous in them.
No, I was giving you a hypothetical. I was saying if that person, like let's say we can prove that person, like what tribe they from and everything, their genealogical records, and they end up here with us in 2026 going through, yeah, they would be considered Black American, not African.
I'm kind of confused by your hypothetical, but I think I understand what you're saying.
All right. So, okay, cool. So forget about the hypothetical. Let's go reality. So that wasn't the case. So mostly everybody that came from Africa to America has mixed with indigenous people and whitey people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means they're not African, they're not whitey, and they're not indigenous. They're a combination of all three, right?
Yeah, agreed.
So what's your question to that?
I guess my question is, I agree with what you're saying, like FBAs, if that's what you want to call it, are a mixture of what you just said, right? But I don't understand why some of them want to deny their African ancestry. I think it's like...
So that's the other thing. So some people say that, you know, when they do their genealogical records, nobody of African ancestry pops up. So, and they say all they have is their indigenous, you know, records of their family. So like they could only go back as far as indigenous Americans. Like they don't have nothing back to Africa. So how can somebody conclude they're African when their genealogical records don't include Africans? That's like just common sense.
If you do a DNA test, it'll definitely show your genealogical records, but...
So let me help you out. A DNA test has a disclaimer. A DNA test tells you that it's for entertainment purposes only. Now, a DNA test is not to tell you where you were from 500 years ago. A DNA test has limitations and they cannot tell you where you were 500 years ago. So what they do is DNA tests are originally created for medicinal issues and also to solve crime. So like, or tell you who the daddy of a baby is, the biological parent, but a paternity test type thing. But DNA tests were never designed to tell a people who they were 500 years ago.
Have you heard of 23andMe?
Yes, I heard of all of them, and I researched all of them. And I'm telling you the limitation. Now, what you got to do for me, which I already did it, you got to Google the limitation of DNA tests. Now, there are programs in America that are strictly for Nigerians or people of African only, right? You cannot take your DNA test results and say, hey, look, it says I'm you and I'm in now. Nope. That's why I say for entertainment purposes only. Even if it gave you a significant amount of indigenous blood in you, you cannot take that test and be part of a tribe all of a sudden, an indigenous tribe. That test is not used for that. So people got the wrong, people misapply DNA tests to try to tell you where you're from. It's not designed for that. Google that right now. I mean, that's a Googleable search today.
So if I look up what 23andMe is designed for, what do you think it's going to say?
It's going to say, well, you got to say what DNA test, because isn't it a different DNA test, right? It's a DNA test, right?
Well, yeah, a 23andMe is a DNA test.
Right. And there's others, right? So don't just specify just one. Just say DNA
no, I want to
test.
specify because the whole purpose of 23.
Do what you want to do, but I'm saying if I say DNA test, right? That
23andMe is a DNA test.
Right, but if I say DNA test, that 23andMe will be there. Will be considered. So if I go to Google or AI and I say DNA test, it's going to consider all of the DNA tests that's available. And they're going to say they're not designed to tell you who you were 500 years ago. They're designed to tell you to
I agree with no. I never. I don't. It's not. It's definitely not designed to tell who you were 500 years ago. But what it can do is it can like estimate the DNA you share with other groups of people. That's the whole point of it.
Nope.
What do you mean? Nope. I'm like looking at it right now.
Yeah, because but you should be reading that the estimates changes. It can go from 10% to 0. So it could and it updates every so often. So the updates change. It says one thing today. It could say, hey, you're 3% German today, and then 10 years from now, it could say you're 0% or 15%. So that's why it's not reliable. That's why it says entertainment purposes only. I do this research. I know already. I know its limitations. It cannot do that. It can't guarantee that you're.
I guess maybe I have to do more research on it, but
it's okay. Now you said your mom was, or you said there's black people in Guyana, right?
No, I said, well, yes, there are, but there's like a multitude of ethnicities.
Hold on. Okay. In what sense are they black? Like, are they black nationally, ethnically, racially? How are they black?
Well, Guyana was a slave port, and some Africans were taken to Guyana. So, like, ethnically, yes. I guess by today's racial standards, they would be considered "quote unquote" black.
Wait, but hold on. But African and black are not interchangeable words, right?
Africans fall under black. No.
Racially, right?
Yeah, that's what I just said. By today's racial standards.
Now, hold on. Who made up racial standards? Is that something Africans did?
The Europeans did for sure. Right, yeah, it's a European construct.
Okay. So hold on, but it's more than that. It's called an exonym, right? So an exonym is when outsiders name you what you don't name yourself. So just because, for example, the white man called people Negroes, it called people savages, it called people Indians.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a long historical record of calling people things they're not, and people, it's up to them to say, hey, I'm not that. Hey, call me by my name. So no, I'm not this black racial group you made up in the 2000s. I'm still Guyanese, and I have a Guyanese culture. I don't have a black ethnical culture at all.
Right.
I don't have a black flag, black nothing. So now you're lumping me up as black only in America. They're not black in Guyana. They're not black. And if a Guyanese person go to Africa or go to, matter of fact, the UN prefers POAD. Look that up. Persons of African descent. They don't use black people. They don't say everybody's of African descent black. They say diaspora. It's called the African diaspora. It's not called the black diaspora. And that's a nickname they gave it. But the original name is the African diaspora. Mm-hmm. Because black is like Igbo. It's like Jamaica. It's a word that's made up to identify people. So what does Igbo mean? Does Igbo tie into Africa? No, it's just a made up word. People just say, hey, we're this. So when my ancestors said we're black in America in the 1960s, it was a name. It's a name out of many we could have chose. So it's not synonymous with Africa. Don't have African roots. It's an English color word that we made a noun. Black is an adjective. It describes nouns. It describes people. So when white man called right. So when white man called people Negro, they were describing people, and those descriptions were not positive. They were saying they were animals, inferior. So Negro is associated with that. So when people call themselves black racially, they're taking on a definition of the whitey man. And the whitey man says people of color are inferior and, worthy of being treated badly. Like there's no rights a white man is bound to respect. So there's a whole class that comes after the racial class, black. Now, in America, look at the harm that is done to us in America. This is why it's a whole finesse. Like I just told you, by coming up with black in America, knowing it's our ethnicity, now black serves as a dual usage, which is what ethnicity does that in the world. So now black in America pertains to a specific exclusive people, at the same time pertains to an unspecific inclusive people. So when people come to America, everybody's confused. If you say, hey, let the black people stand up, you'll see people of Somali, right? You'll see people of Ethiopia descent. You'll see people of all different historical different backgrounds standing up as black people and black Americans. But if they say, okay, now everybody sit back down. Now only the Somalis stand up, then you'll get the Somalis. So it's a way to assimilate and dilute as far as black Americans are concerned. So now, again, back to our country and our historical harms. We can't demand justice under this black group because it was exclusive in the 60s. Whoever was called black in this country, 99.9% of them were black Americans. There was a tiny below 1% representation of anybody from the Caribbean and Africa together in the 60s. So those who could be called black, it was pretty much all black Americans. So it's a finesse. So now when the civil rights was passed and now things had to, we had to correct the harms, they passed some stuff in 1965, all type of different laws where race-based exclusions are illegal. Now, don't forget, we were the only racially people that could be black. It was unfathomable for somebody to be black in America in significant numbers. So now in the 2010s, in the 2000s, where it became a large million, significant number of people from the Caribbean and Africa, now this racial group is now large now. So now we're like, hey, that's why the DI program is being thrown out, because they're all racially based. It's enough people in different origins coming to this racial based group, and now it's being thrown out. Hey, remember, you can't do something for race. Now, if it's done for black Americans exclusively, that's not race. That's an injure harm people. But under that name, black has now they have now made black racial term officially doomed. It's like cursed now. So we got to add other things: Adolfs, freedmen, black Americans. So just to go back, the only ethnic black people, and when I say ethnic, that means you called your society black. You called your economics, you called your wins, losses, your money, everything black. You're first to do something black. We have a black flag, 1967, Melvin Charles. It's called the Black American Heritage. Everything about black movements, everything about us black, the black dollar, black marriage, everything about black Americans, our entire society is ethnically black. But Guyanese, their society is ethnically Guyanese.
I want you to understand and understand what I'm saying right now. Understand and understand right now.
Let's get this motherfucker.
Economics. The Guyanese, everything's Guyanese. Nothing's black over there. So people, that's nice things. Your average that when it was applied. When black was being applied as a positive ethnonym, endonym, that was exclusively for black Americans only. Everybody was Guyanese, Jamaican, Nigerian, everything they wanted to be until recently, the 2000s. Since our reparations fight is when people start to take on black that we know of in America.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that don't mean the Guyanese people are not our brothers and sisters. Like my best friend, I say all the time, one of my best friends are Guyanese. Actually, you're the second person I spoke to that has Guyanese background, and so far y'all representing, because there's a sister before you I spoke on TikTok, and she was cool like you. And again, my boy is from Guyana, and his whole family, I'm cool with his entire family. Like, he will give me the shirt off his back, like he's a real thoroughbred. So we're not saying because we are ethnically black and you're ethnically Guyanese, well, not you, because you're actually black too, you're mixed. So you are what we would call foundational Black American, as well as Guyanese. So you can express both sides you want, however you want to do it. But somebody who is fully Guyanese, they can be an ally, they can rock with us and whatever, but they're just not black ethnically like us. And so we just straighten out the confusion. Like, we cause the confusion to go away, and everybody's who they are. This person, the Guyanese brother, I'm the black brother, and this person's the Nigerian brother. You feel me? And this is the white brother, the Hispanic brother, the Latino, Puerto Rican, whatever, so on and so forth. But the confusion, the dilution of confusion, we're not letting white T America do that any longer. Like, nope, we're stopping that. Like, stop this play you're doing. And this goes back all the way to Walter Plecker with the 1924 Racial Integrity Act. It's actually called the Racial Integrity Act. They use race to reclassify indigenous people to steal their land. So they always use this racial category to exclude, deny, and take from people. And they're doing that today with us. They're using the racial thing to deny us reparations and other things that's old to us. And you have Ed Blum, anything that's race-based, Ed Blum is cooking it in court.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I agree with, everything you're saying. How do you feel about like people calling FBAs like a hate group?
I don't mind, because that's their right. Where I'm sure there's some, I heard it myself. I heard some FBAs say the most toxic stuff ever, but that's a hateful person. Just like when a white T man does something like Dylan Roof, when he did his thing in the church, like, he was racial, right? But they didn't say the entire white race was racial, right? They didn't say all white Americans are racist because Dylan Roof was. So they called Dylan Roof a lone wolf. So the people that's being hateful towards other folks because they are not foundational, they are hateful people, but they don't represent a group, and they can't poison the well. That's called poison the well. That one person or the 30 people don't poison the well of 50 million. That's not how that works. That person or people, they are hateful or whatever. So I'm actually going to do a live on YouTube. It's going to be called "What's a Tether?" Right? Because people have ran with tether, made it something that it ain't. So it's going to be action or accent. So I'm making a distinction. Just because somebody has an accent doesn't make them a tether. What makes somebody a tether is their negative, impactful actions. Just like what makes somebody a coon or a sample amongst the Black American, ethnic group, your actions would do that. And to make a white person, a white T person, a racist, that would make their actions would decide that. So what you're witnessing is toxic FBA groups that's doing this on purpose for clicks and views and some coins, and we're about to clean that up very shortly.
Well, that sounds good to me. It was nice talking to you.
Likewise, great talking to you. Thanks for calling. I will allow you in. I'll invite you up. You dig? So we have these platforms for engagement. Like, I'm having a monologue, but I don't mind having a dialogue. I invite people up on TikTok or YouTube to talk about this topic. Yeah, so okay. So I think he's coming up. All right. True in June. Is that your name? True in June?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, clarify what you were saying.
Well, us in our community, we believe the FBAs is the coming that we thought would be coming around this time. That was it was calculated. It was calculated that more people would start seeing delineation, and to start having pride in America and their lineage here. So when this starts, now it's going to be another transition of information on how did emancipated slaves find freedom during Negro laws. And when you look this up, and this is where it comes with the tribes, you know, you specifically told me to come up to talk about the tribes I commented on. And the majority of Negro Indians or Aboriginals or whatnot was stripped of their identities because of the Racial Integrity Act that went to 30 states via the Negro laws. It was adopted in that form of fashion. And when you look up these areas and you look up these cases, it's attached to people that may be in your family, that may be a part of who you are individually according to the location you're at. So if you wanted to look up some tribal things, I'm quite sure that you can find a lot of tribes just already in your lineage.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So you're from what tribe you're from?
Well, I'm Missouri by blood. You know, I also identify as an Anuia and a Catawba. You know, from records found and things of that nature. Cultures developed and simultaneously still being done at the same time as far as history is concerned. We do the same culture and the same different things in the same locations, the same place. The only thing that actually changed wasn't the people, it was actually the classification of these people and the origin of these people, which we know came from eugenic science and a guy named Franz Boas.
Wait, so before you go there with Franz Boas, are you familiar with Walter Plecker?
Yeah. Walter Plecker is a student of Franz Boas.
Well, hold on. What? Ask the question. So what act did Walter Plecker write in to cause his reclassification for the land theft? Are you sure?
What, the Racial Integrity Act?
Yeah, 1924, right? Yeah. So okay. So now the other guy, what's his name?
Franz Boas.
Franz Boas. And what act did he put on the books?
Well, actually, he was the teacher. He's the doctorate advisor. They all went to school and went to college, and he taught these guys. He is the father of American anthropology. Melville Herskovich is the father of American African studies. And then he got a lot of different people. He had some women who started the sexual revolution, who studied Vietnamese sex life.
So as you can see that these people on TikTok are dumb as lead paint. Frank Boas and Walter Plecker represented polar opposite positions in the early 20th century American scientific and political debate over race, acting as direct ideological adversaries rather than collaborators. While Boas was a pioneering anthropologist who worked to dismantle scientific racism, Plecker was a bureaucratic and eugenicist who enforced it. These guys, these people are just, say it for me.
Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
It's a girl named Margaret, I believe her name was. There's just a lot of them.
Wait, because we go too far, and you throwing the SEX word out there. All right, and you know TikTok got kitty language here.
Okay.
So let me ask the elephant in the room. Were you able to trace your lineage? Did any of your ancestors work on a plantation, like do forced slave labor?
Not that I have found so far, but I still, if I did find that, I would still have to find land deeds and land patents to say that they was not working on their land and the land was given away, but the housing and the people still staying the same. You know, the company was the same, but the people who own the company changed the plantation.
Hold on. Hey, brother. I got it, brother. I'm just trying to get one thing at a time, okay? See, when I talk, I speak clear where people understand what I'm saying. Nobody's confused. You're talking a little fast. You're saying a lot, and I'm like trying to slow you down.
Okay.
So as far as your knowledge is concerned, you haven't found anybody in your lineage who ties themselves to a plantation where they did labor. They was forced to do labor, right?
No, I haven't found no, sir.
So,
A lot of land on this.
all right, so hold on.
You're a time-wasting tether.
So I wouldn't
This is
consider you
time-wasting
foundational. I
tether
wouldn't consider.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you? No, so, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you? You know you done fucked up, don't you? You know it, don't you? No, you done fucked up.
Bruh.
The foundation at all. Like I would say you and I are different.
Right. I can understand the way you think like that, but slavery as a whole, you got to still take into consideration Indian slavery, and you got to take in the classification.
Wait, slow down. When we say foundational, do you know what that means? When we say foundational, what do we mean when we say foundational?
Oh no, I agree with the foundational part. I believe that I'm a foundational man, so I believe in the foundational part. I found that. I believe in that.
You say, but I asked you a question though. I said, what do you think we mean when we say foundational?
That you help create and build the civilization and society that we live in now.
No. Okay, dude, you're speaking. We're talking about the United States of America, right? We're talking about the railroads, right? The railroads. Right. Okay, were your ancestors part of the railroads in the South?
Absolutely.
What? So was that forced labor, or were they hired as?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, they all got paid. That's why we had all that property. We all got paid. Yeah, it wasn't chattel slavery. Bruh. Chattel slavery started with an Angolan man. There's court records on that. His name's Anthony Johnson.
All right, brother. All right.
Now I didn't want to go down the Anthony Joshua line. Yo, what? True teller, man. Listen, bro. Better sharpen up, my guy. Like these guys can be KO'd. Right? You just got to know a lot. Now he was going to bring me down to Anthony Joshua rabbit hole. He's going to say chattel slavery started after him. He was the first slave. I didn't feel like doing that with him. Because he's very disingenuous. He's like revenue. You can't hold him to one place. He's all over the place. But I would have went down to Anthony Joshua rabbit hole if he would have been more stationary.
A good one. Yeah. See, I'm not going to be. You got on TikTok. You got to be nice.
Okay. And real quick, thank you, Sleep Bay, 1999 super chat. He said, thank you. You're welcome, brother. Definitely try to bring more classy content. I'm trying to be less messy. But it looks like people only like the messy part. What's his name? CI Kid Harrison said, Ron, this white boy's in all FBA spaces. You wasted your time. Oh, I think every moment is a learning moment. Right. Andy B. Ward says it's for learning purposes only. Right. Okay. Kiel Bonner, $2 super chat. She's slow. Yeah, like you see how they be coming on passive aggressively. So the Caribbean girl, the Guyanese woman, as she was seeming like she's gonna understand and she had to concede, and then what did she do? She went right back to, wait a minute, but FBAs, they're toxic, right? So I'm trying to be, play political correct on TikTok. Not trying to get banned already, but these are the things you got to deal with. You got to find out how to debunk these people on TikTok because it's more sensitive, as peaceful as possible. That's why you hear the language is more passive on TikTok rather than on YouTube. I'm ready to go at the juggler. All right, so next is the Garveyite. Black Bald with a hop on.
What's up, Black Bald? What's up, Black man?
What's going on, brother?
Shit, another day in USA, man.
Okay. What country are you originally from, or your ancestors stem from?
Country?
Yeah.
Shit, America.
So you don't have any ancestral ties to Africa or the Caribbean?
Hell no.
Okay, just asking. It sounds like you're not a proud American. I see that.
A proud American.
Yeah.
I love my country, just not the government.
Well, there's no government on earth that's appreciated by the people. Every government the people are complaining about every government on the planet.
It's controlled by Satanists, the bar mitzvah boy Satanists.
Okay, but did you hear what I just said? I said all governments are not pleasing to the people because people don't like to be regulated. That's a natural way people feel. People don't like to be regulated, but governments are necessary to regulate people. But let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the transatlantic slave trade?
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Okay. Are you familiar with Marcus Garvey?
Yeah.
How you feel about him?
Black power.
All right. So once you said the slave trade didn't exist, you see, I moved straight. I'm not about to have that. Yeah, I thought the YouTubers were kind of slow. TikTokers, wow, like they really on that spectrum. Like I just moved right from that and went to Marcus Garvey because I know he's a cosplaying tether. So I'm gonna get him right here. But he's one of those Arawak Indians. Okay, so you think he was good for black people?
Yeah. During the time, the process of being self-reliant.
But would you consider scamming black Americans being self-reliant?
He wasn't scamming nobody, bro. That's a white narrative.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Well, you know he went to court, right? He went to trial.
I know it was all a lie, though.
Wait, hold on. Wait, before you talk about the details of the trial, let's just start with, we know he went to trial, right?
Right.
Right. Who was his lawyer?
A Jew.
No. You see, listen, bro, you're speaking to people who are on TikTok and YouTube. I'm simultaneously doing a live.
Oh,
no, he hired a foundational black American lawyer, my guy. So you're exposing your ignorance on the Marcus Garvey case. He didn't hire anybody white tea. He didn't trust white tea people. So he hired a foundational black American lawyer and then he fired them. So then guess who represented him after that?
Who?
Himself.
Okay, as you supposed to.
Right. Yeah, but guess what? When he represented himself, there's some things he agreed. The things he denied. Now, when the charges were brought to him about scamming black Americans, he agreed to that, but he said that wasn't his original intent. He said it got like that, but that wasn't where it was supposed to go. So now, how do you justify that? That he's admitting to scamming black Americans? Go ahead.
Once again, right? It's the same thing as a black pastor right now in these churches, bro.
Hey, bro, the black pastor.
I'm answering your question.
No, you're not. You're not. Bro, you're talking to a scholar. You're doing a false.
What type of scholar?
Okay, well, listen. You about to find out. For one, you say hired.
Hold on. I'm not here for ego, black man. I just want to have a conversation with.
I got it, but you got to be. But you're talking to a scholar, and you've been wrong already. You said Marcus Garvey hired a small hat guy. He never done it. You made that stuff up.
You said what?
Now look. You say he hired a small hat to represent him. He never did that. He hired a black.
No, you said who was his lawyers?
Right. It was no lawyer. He never hired a small hat. He had an issue with the white man.
No, I'm saying okay. You see that's the thing though, right? It's like you jump straight to
the my guy. Goodbye. We're not going to do that over here, my guy. Man, y'all see what I got to deal with, man? Waking our people up, signal boosting the message. I got to deal with all type of stupidity. It's so for the person who said I wasted my time, they're clearly new here, and you can tell they don't teach anybody. There's never wasted time when people can learn from the wasted time unless people just babble and we don't get anywhere. And you see, I close those conversations out fast. But before I do that, I give it a chance to be a learning moment. So I was able to cook him, but also share information with my supporters and anybody who might have been on his side later. Yeah, okay. I'm about to say, where's that noise? I hate TikTok, man. You go on TikTok, it's already some bullcrap music. I'm like, where's that noise coming from? This music just, oh, no. Damn. Okay. What I'm gonna do? So I'm gonna go TikTok through my phone because when I go on the iPad, they always say I'm breaking up. Okay, so we're gonna see if I can get some TikTokers on. And then I'm gonna talk about some stuff that usually like certain topics nab them like a fishing rod. Thank you, Yaya Israel, $10 super chat. Like certain conversations nab tethers and YT people like a fishing rod. So when we talk about delineation, you talk about Marcus Garvey. Yeah, those are topics to get them to jump out the window. All right, so give me a second. Let me do this. On TikTok with some hop on. TikTok. Every time you go on TikTok, just blasting some music. Like, yo, somebody skit. Worse than IG. Okay, let's get this party crunk. Whoa. Got it. Baker boy in the house. Logical common sense in the house. FBA red dog in the house. Rubies 7 in the house. Fresh always. Andy B War in the house. Tyre Carter. FBA Mr. CJ. Yaya Israel. We got Truth Appeal. Izzo stepped in. Ricardo Flott. Sonny. Songwriter Sonny. Who else is in the building? Salik Bay, as he does often, super chats. We got Salida American Indian in the building. Okay, the family's here. Kiel Bonner, I think I shouted you out. If not, Kiel Bonner. Mama Deb in the building. Lord Mall. Top rated. Claus and Dan. I see you out there. Real Blackmatic. All right, let me start some good trouble. My Black Universe in the building. Let me start some good trouble on TikTok. Yo. What the hell is that, man? In the TikTok app, you go on one screen, it freezes my phone, can't get out of it. All right, we're gonna start some good trouble on TikTok. As soon as it load up. Why does it have me here still, man? Okay. Trying to get out of there. It keeps you frozen on screens. Can I get back? All right, here we are. Okay. All right, TikTok, here we come. What's my title? I had a title. What was the title? Okay. Africans or white tea sold us. That might be some good bait. I think that's good. I think that's good bait. Oh, I didn't just disconnect from. Why is it still connected to my phone? These headsets make it impossible to like disconnect from your devices. All right, so we on TikTok. All right, so yes, Marcus Garvey, he hired an FBA lawyer, okay, to represent him against the charges of defrauding the American government through mail fraud. Okay, so he was never charged with the scamming he did to Black Americans. And that's where they get it twisted at, family. When you talk about Marcus Garvey, if you ever debated him with the Tether, you're going to get confused because you're going to talk about scamming and they're going to talk about defrauding the government. Don't conflate the two. He scammed us and he defrauded the government. He never got charged with scamming us. All right. So Marcus Garvey had two allegations going on: scamming Black Americans and defrauding the government. Don't conflate the two. He didn't get charged for both. He only got charged with defrauding the government. At that time, there was no FBI. There was just the BOI, the Bureau of Investigations. They were before the FBI. They didn't care that Marcus Garvey was scamming Black Americans. This is the 1920s. Okay? So Jim Crow was at his height. So they just cared about their own pockets. So they had Marcus Garvey they had him on trial. So Marcus Garvey decided to go to trial. He hired an FBA lawyer, the Johnny Cochran of that time. He then fired him to represent himself. I don't know who does that, but he represented himself in court. Bad idea. So he got cooked, obviously. He was, instead of defending himself, he was more so trying to recruit more members to join the UNIA. And the history is from there. He got convicted. Matter of fact, a lot of charges, I think he had like 13 counts, and like a lot was dropped to like 1 or 2. So they could have really done him dirty. So when people talk about the case, they don't really know what they're talking about. It wasn't an all-out get Garvey, because if it was, they would have kept those other counts. They dropped them all. I think like 5 counts, in between 5 to 10 counts. They dropped them all but 1 or 2. All right. So he was cross-examined. He confessed to some things. And one of those confessions was he did scam Black Americans. Okay. But he said it wasn't his intention. So he's saying it led to that, but that wasn't what it was supposed to be. Right? That's a fact. So the question is, who sold us? Because you can see from that Guyanese woman who was on here on TikTok, she said we were taken out of Africa. People say we were kidnapped. We were captured out of Africa. The white tea man had a ship and he came to Africa and cast a net over the first 100,000 people he's seen. He did that for, who knows, 10 years, and he had enough. to create his dream world. That's how Tethers would tell the story. They don't want to acknowledge that the African role. That's the hard part, I guess. But Marcus Garvey, nobody mistakes his ethnicity. He was a Jamaican man. It doesn't say black man, Jamaican man. But somebody like W. Du Bois or Booker T. Washington, he goes down as a black man. See the difference? Black, originally, before it was hijacked by the white team man, black served as an ethnicity. We chose that as an ethnicity. So we got Groove Quest coming on. Hey, what's up, Groove Quest?
How you doing? Keep cooking, bro.
All right. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So hold on. Yeah, you got a lot of noise back there, my brother.
Yeah, sorry. Let me meet up. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Black Americans, we chose black as our ethnicity, right? It's our ethnonym. What is an ethnonym? That's just the name you call yourself. That's the permanent name you call yourself. Igbo was a permanent name they call themselves. That's their ethnonym. France is the name. France is the country, and Frenchmen is the name they call themselves, right? Dessalines, 1804. We're Haitians. That's the ethnonym. Ethnonym is the name you call yourself. Black was not a name anybody in the world called themselves except for Black Americans. We were the only people to call ourselves black first in 1960 as an ethnonym. Everyone else adopted that term later in like the 2020s. You couldn't get somebody to say they were black in 2010 to 2000, 1990s, 1980s. We know that. Some of us was around at the time. People seen that as a taboo word. Oh, don't you call me black. Because these same African and Caribbean folks, they seen black as you don't know where you're from, and it's a people who don't know their culture or don't have culture. People who don't. So if you called yourself black, if you were the black people, they seen that as people who didn't know where they were from and they didn't have a culture.
Other news. Can I ask you how old you are?
I don't want to reveal my age because I don't want people to discriminate.
Fine, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's cool. I just wanted to know because I'm older, and I don't mind saying that I'm closer to 60 now than I am to 50.
Okay.
But I grew up. But I'm a Gen Xer,
okay.
And so I was around when these kids would come to school, and they would call us lazy Black Americans. They would call us and they would say they're not black.
Right.
And these same people grew up, and all of a sudden now they're black.
Right.
And so I just wanted to affirm what you were saying, that they waited until black was trending to call themselves black. I just wanted to affirm that, bro.
Yes, sir. And not just trending, they waited until black was starting to be synonymous with the word tangibles. Okay, so when we start to say, hey, when we say, hey, we're going to make black synonymous with tangibles. So when politicians, whoever get out there and try to speak to us or represent us, they got to tie tangibles in their language. So that was the finesse that a lot of African immigrants hopped onto, and now all of a sudden they're black, right? But you can't just be, you can't be all of a sudden black. That's something. It's a bloodline, right? You can't just join it. You can't be a part of it. You can't adopt to it. Black is specifically for Black Americans. It's our ethnonym. It's our ethnic. We're ethnic blacks, right? So you ask people from the island, are you ethnically black on your island? They won't know what that means. If you ask somebody African, that's African, are you ethnically are you ethnically black in Africa? They won't know how to answer that, because all these people are black because the white man says so, not because they said so.
Can I jump in right here?
Yeah, sure.
You can actually tell who these people are right in the middle of their posts online. Just like, you know, even like in a Twitter post with 280 characters or whatever the limit is, they will, when they describe when they call themselves black, right? You'll always notice that they spell Black American with a lowercase b and an uppercase a. And it's like,
Really?
and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, lowercase b is a color, right? It's an
Right.
adjective that
Adjective, yes.
describes the noun, right?
Mhm.
And so they spell it with a lowercase b because they don't even understand that that is our name. It's a proper noun. It is capitalized, right?
Fact.
And so I'd be a word Nazi on these posts and be like, oh, I could tell this is an African right here.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
I just wanted to cook on that.
Yeah, great observation. They don't understand that we use it, that not just use it, but black is a proper noun in America. It's not an adjective. It's a capital. You know, it demands have a capital B. I call it capital B, lowercase b. It's funny because when they put the lowercase b, they're actually projecting themselves. Like, no, you guys are the lowercase b's. Because lowercase b black means that you are black racially, and you're black racially because white racists like Walter Plecker said you're black. He put you in a racial cesspool box of black people. So that goes into paper genocide. But all right, so let me talk about that. So we obviously black ethnic people in America. We're ethnically black. We're the only people who can be ethnically black. We speak about identity, like Guru Quest just done. We speak about lineage, and we speak about the difference between race and ethnicity. They don't understand the difference between race and ethnicity. So that's why I always ask them. I say, "Are you black ethnically, or are you black racially, or is black is your ethnicity, or is your race?" They get confused, and they do the any, mini, miny, mo button, and don't matter how they answer it. It's Cook City either way. So that's why many of us, we feel like our specific historical identity has been blurred into a broad racial category that no longer precisely describes who we are as a people, right? And I call that paper genocide of 2026. So when you look at paper genocide was a tool to erase indigenous people off paper to steal their land and whatever else. So you look at that by throwing them into the racial box Negro. So in order to steal the land from indigenous people, they had to make them a vague people, an ambiguous people, and they reclassified them as Negro. Negro was a vague, ambiguous box that anybody can be dumped into as long as you were non-white. So today we see that same vague, ambiguous box, black. Black doesn't specify anybody. If you're black, if somebody say I'm black today, that means absolutely nothing. That doesn't tell where you're from. That doesn't tell what language you speak. That doesn't tell what culture you have, your historical experiences. That absolutely tells nothing today if somebody say they were black. And that's why when they go ahead.
Especially in the context when you understand history and anthropology, and when you really come to the realization that our skin is the original skin everywhere on this planet, not that bullshit out of Africa theory.
You gotta watch your language on TikTok.
Now when you just use the color black, it's like, yeah, just like you said, it's like, oh, it's just this thing that don't mean shit anywhere.
Yeah, watch your language on TikTok.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
No cursing, and some things you got to spell out.
Love TikTok shop.
Go ahead.
No, that was it. I just wanted to say that I just wanted to again affirm what you were saying, that like when you understand history and anthropology and you say black, and you call a people black, well, yeah, we were black everywhere. Because we're from everywhere. Everywhere we're indigenous to every soil. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I say we, I mean melanated people are indigenous to every soil.
Right. And here's the thing. Nobody if everybody looked the same, then that means that nobody distinguished themselves based on skin color, right? So nobody called themselves black or dark. If everybody was dark, everybody was black, nobody would call themselves that. Just like if you have like the Europeans, they won't distinguish themselves by saying, "Hey, I'm the white man." No, or the Asians saying they're yellow. So nobody called themselves by their skin tone. They call themselves by different things, like their tribes, and the tribes don't have no real etymology behind it. Like that don't have nothing to do with Africa. Like that's some word that's just made up, and that's just who they are. House, Fulani, these are names just made up. There's no really breakdown to the word. Um, so the people who looked at them and called them by a color were outsiders. It took people who were looking to colonize them to do them harm. They called them Sudan, as Sudan. They called them Noor. They called them Negro. And when they use these terms, they translate as a color, but that's not the application of the word. Just like I make a point with Mayate, right? That just means black beetle. That is a beetle that's black. But the way they apply it to dark people, it don't mean that. It means it's synonymous with Nigger. So it's not about what something translates to, the transliteration. It's about how it's being applied. It's a plethora of examples of, like, for example, I could say, "Hey man, that's cap." Well, look at the definition. It won't make any sense how I just used it. See, its application a lot of times override definition. So when I got kicked,
So my question.
I got kicked off TikTok somehow. Let me try to get back on there. Oh, well, the TikTok is live access suspended. So I got suspended. My first suspension off TikTok. You can, okay, so I'm suspended for a couple, whatever. All right, so my first suspension on TikTok. I guess this is why people's telling me you got to have backup accounts. I'll make up another one sometime later. But live access, remove your access to go live across channels, including multi-guest, will be restored. Yeah, so I'm back, restored in a couple of days. So they gave me the, okay, this is the violation clip. Where's the violation clip? I Spy, Unbiased RON is half white and German, but he on here every day telling you, no, that's wrong. I'm not half white and German. That's wrong. Let me delete you. Okay. And let me give you the actual facts. Okay. And delete you. Nope. My mom is half black and German. You got to get that right. So if you're going to lie, you got to get the information right. So there you go. My mom is mixed. All right. My mom is mixed. My dad is dark skinned. My grandfather, my mom's dad, is very dark. So the black people that's in my lineage, fathers and uncles, are very, very dark. Okay, just you mix, you're gonna be a little lighter. So that's not gonna work. Get you out of here, I Spy. And you're not, what are you exposing? I'm light skinned. The hell? People seen me before. I don't look like Sean Gath, right? My hair is pretty coarse. So no, you're not exposing nothing, my guy. You're not exposing. Yeah. So yeah. So it gave me a clip to play, but I can't play it. Okay. It says hate speech. So I'm gonna pill it. So Tethers know the ins and out of the flagging. So I know I said nothing crazy, so I'm gonna wait. Okay, so it's saying it's a 20-second clip. Let me play it again. So it's giving me the clip, but it won't let me play it. Yes, it gave me the clip, but it's not playing it. All right, so I pilled it. Yeah, I pilled it. Ruby 7, $5 super chat. The education is much need to immigrants about FBA people. Thank you. Yes, yes, I appreciate that.
Well, I don't think you ever answered my question.
That's the thing.
I think you answered my question.
Why doesn't it just go right to a video? Yeah, I can't stand TikTok. And like IG will have it on mute. I like IG because when it goes to a video, when you go on IG, it be on mute. Why does TikTok it be just blasting, yo?
Foundation. I know my law. Well, you don't tell me, Charlie. Don't tell me. I have it, sir. Don't tell me.
Yeah, how do you mute this stuff? Where's the mute button? You just automatically like just play a video loud as crap. You're not in court. They say, hey, don't have a phone on you, and then you sneak one, or they say put it or turn it off, whatever. You try to pull your phone out because they on rest, whatever, the judge on rest. And you try to
change it to something else. Because I'm
my
only
God.
gonna be on here just for a short while anyway.
You try to take your phone out to buy some time, and then TikTok blast something loud like that. You be like, man, I know y'all didn't. Okay. Can't stand those crybabies. Yeah, I mean, I didn't say. I know I'm gonna beat the appeal because I didn't say nothing crazy. It's a 20-second clip. It says hate speech and hateful behavior. Nothing I said was hateful. So, I mean, like, I think TikTok would be better at that because the Facebook used to do that too. Some years ago, people would just flag you, and YouTube would cancel your live. And then when you appeal it, and it turned out you did nothing wrong, they would take the strike off. But then you just cancel my live though. So now YouTube ain't so quick to cancel your live. Now YouTube, after you get flagged, YouTube deal with you after the live, something like that. They don't just all the time cancel. I think TikTok is in those early stages where when somebody flag you for just something reckless, they'll just end it just to be safe and then work it out later. But I think as people complain, and like same thing with YouTube, people complain, they're going to be more strict. They're going to fight against that better. And just anybody randomly just not liking it and pressing it. One, kick you to another line, right? Yeah, but that to get kicked off that easily. That, yeah, but start all over is like annoying. Cause I finally get some type of motion on TikTok. I had about like 10, 12 people in there, and they were coming fast. And you create a whole new TikTok. You know, nobody's following you. You ain't following nobody, and the rules all over. You need a certain amount of followers. I don't want to do that all day long. Yeah, that's just crazy. But what about Twitter? How's Twitter? Nah. Twitter got my real name on there. Like the trolls on TikTok are on Twitter just too petty. That's why I ain't trying to give nothing on TikTok and Twitter. What's your age? Don't worry about it. Name, don't worry about it. They are too petty over there. Yeah, he kept cussing, yo. I'm like, yeah, and they supposed to be TikTok more than me. You know, they supposed to be more TikTok savvy than myself. And once y'all told me the rules, C note says, Ron, what happened to your TikTok live? I was, yeah, it got flagged. Some tethers, these musty tethers be mass reporting live. Yeah, that's weird. My man said, yo, my God, like they talk about Tariq Nasheed's wife. Let's talk about that. She's half. Like, do you not know the rules to be FBA ADOS? Friedman, Solon? Tariq's wife just need one parent. And he doesn't hide the fact that she's mixed. She's mixed. And he's not the only person. Like some people, FBA, they mixed. I'm not that. My mom is mixed, not me. Okay. So get that right. And he tried to take that to say, I can't gatekeep black. My dude, let's say if I'm a whole Nick Fuentes, what I'm saying is still correct. Black is reserved just for black Americans. You're mad that you can't refute that. Oh, matter of fact, let me do this. Yeah, you're mad you can't refute that. You mad that that case I made is so strong, so unpenetrable, so irrefutable, indisputable that you got to troll. You can't call in and be like, "Hey, you're wrong about that because I googled this, I chat GPT that." Revenue tried that, took a L. All I did was become better and better and better with that argument, with maintaining the argument that we are the only black ethnic people on the earth. Everybody else is black racially. None of them are black ethnically. Okay, we're the only ethnic blacks. So I got so good at the argument, I found out words to use to be safer, to not leave yourself out there for people to nitpick. And it hurts. I understand it hurts because you don't want that to be a reality. You know, it's funny because I told people yesterday, I say, hey, don't join the YouTube when I'm TikTok. And also, I say join the TikTok because it's better to, if you just want to talk and get it in, that's TikTok, not YouTube. Because YouTube, I like to do presentations, like to share videos. So this ain't the time. So I encourage, especially like Truth Teller and V4, Swerving, SWLE, y'all 4 or 5. Y'all should definitely get a TikTok account because you guys like to go in. And if I'm TikTok live, you feel me? I don't mind. But YouTube live, I do mind. Can't be long winded on YouTube. That's not how I set the platform up. I set it up to like engage, show videos, talk here and there, engage with the chat, not for long winded conversations. All right. Oh, okay. My ADD kicked in. Let me do what I was going to do. So the other day, Revenue got slick on me. Revenue was using, he got me because like Revenue, well, he didn't get me. He took an L still. But as far as he got me, as far as he slick talked a word in there that I let go because I know he's like just a dummy, and I just don't listen to this guy at all. Like nothing he says is going to be a gotcha. So, but I want to address that though.
I'm talking, did he promote the term?
We are seeing many Latinos, migrants, these Black Americans are
And
pushing
Revenue, I know you're out there listening. Click the link, buddy. Click the link.
back identity, but it is because I think American going to happen over time.
So
That Black
TikTok
American
is out.
identity.
So the YouTube link is there.
That's what's up, man.
Let me just
Man, glad to hear from you, man. Definitely become a follower. I'm gonna make this a normal activity. Let's get a Revenue up here. Let me click on Revenue. Revenue, what's going on, man?
Ron, what's up, King? How you doing?
all this. What's up, King? All these Pan-African King. How you doing? And yeah, I hate when they do that. I'm a guy who can't be phony. Like, listen, Revenue, you the op, though. I'm not your king, not your brother. Just call up and just talk. All this King, peace, family. Yeah, Britt, please, man. It sounds so dry when you do it, bro. Stop, man.
Great. You like 0-100.
Yeah, I'm like 0 and 100 against you, Ron. Yeah. Do you still consider like A. Philip Randolph like one of your master teachers?
Well, I don't have master teachers, but I definitely appreciate his works, and yes, I do look at him as a thoroughbred.
Okay, right. Did A. Philip Randolph ever promote the term black or Negro?
Well, I don't believe he was saying black at that time. Black wasn't really popular of his upbringing, so he would probably most likely say Negro and colored.
Right. What about Martin Luther King and Bayard Rustin?
Martin Luther King said black and beautiful, so he definitely promoted black.
Oh, really? You sure? You sure about that?
You don't know he said he's black and beautiful?
No, he did. But
he said he's black and beautiful.
Yeah. But I'm talking. Did he promote the term black or did he promote the term Negro?
Oh, all right. So that's easy. Like at the time, bro, black was just emerging.
Okay, so right there. So he said black. Did wait, let me go ahead.
Dr. King even said, black has a negative connotation,
Right.
dictionary. Right.
So
right.
who was
black
it?
was something. Hold on, I got to answer your question correctly. So black, and Negro were always taboo words across the globe. That's why most people did not want to associate with those terms at all. Go ahead.
So who made the shift because from my research, what I see from A. Philip Randolph, Bayard Rustin, Martin Luther King, the civil rights leaders, they always viewed black as a separatist or radical term. In fact,
all right. So hold on. Oh, really?
Bayard Rustin, he called the civil rights movement Negro Revolution during the time of Stokely Carmichael. They viewed those people as like the Pan-Africans, the black radicals and separatists who wanted to separate from the so-called white man.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. When you have a revolutionary term or renaissance, that the people who are in complete
My fault. My fault, family.
Black wasn't really Rustin. Then you had the Stokely Carmichael who pushed Black. And then you had Malcolm X who pushed the Afro-American. Then you had who pushed Black. Stokely and the Bayard Rustin. Then you had the Stokely Carmichael who pushed Black.
Okay, so now he didn't push Black. He pushed Black Power. Black was already being pushed. And that part I missed. And he was able to slip that past me. He got that off. Because I thought he was going to his regular argument, the Black Power stuff. So I didn't even hear that. I didn't even notice that he didn't say Black Power. He just said Black. So the whole time I'm debating this fool, I'm debating him that he's saying Black Power, but he not saying Black Power. So he got me just saying Black. But that's false.
And then you had Malcolm X who pushed the Afro-American. Okay, so hold on. Stokely Carmichael, here we go back to this. Did he invent Black? Did he originate Black? Or did he help make it popular? He's the one that's credited to brother. I asked a specific question because I know what you were implying. Okay, and I caught it. So, simple question. Did he create Black or did he help popularize it? He couldn't have created Black because he didn't create the English language. So he popularized the term Black and
he
changed
didn't either. He didn't. He had nothing to do with the word Black. His thing was Black Power. So now I don't know if Revenue tricked me on purpose or he's too dumb and he just made a mistake and we both just making a mistake.
From a negative to a positive English language. So he popularized the term Black and changed it from a negative to a positive.
That's retarded. Not if Black was already Black and he came into our movement. He came into the Black movement and he added in Black Power. He did not change Black. Black was already changed. That's the part that he was able to slip past me.
No. So when you look at James Brown, right? You're Jamaican, you'll never know this. We have people call up on here, on this show, who actually were around at that time. We have people call here, Black Americans, and they have no idea who Stokely Carmichael is. They don't even know about they know little about the Black Power chant, but they know all about James Brown, I'm Black and I'm Proud song. So that song reached far more people than a Stokely Carmichael chant saying I'm Black, okay, or Black Power. That's just a fact. That's the testimony of many Black Americans and anybody globally. Anybody who knows James Brown is familiar with that song over a Black Power chant from Stokely Carmichael. And Stokely Carmichael came back around and dropped the Black like we knew he would. And he said, he preferred.
Lord Maul said some musty, dusty Tethers smelling like cheetah pea reported your live. Yeah, facts. And they got to do a better job of like vetting whether the reports are true or false.
American. Now, let me ask you this. So Stokely Carmichael, we agreed to help popularize Black, right? Yeah, of course.
So he didn't help popularize Black. Again, in my mind, I'm saying Black Power. Right? In my mind, I don't even know I'm saying Black only. So no, he did not popularize Black.
Right? Yeah, everybody knows her. Okay, so he went to Ghana with Kwame Nkrumah. Did he help popularize her? You breaking up. You breaking up, bro. In Ghanaian politics. And you breaking up? I couldn't hear you. So when Stokely Carmichael, got it. Can you hear me now? Yeah, perfect. $. We're going to start getting some work done, family. Okay. So please get them donations in. Get them in. That's amongst Black Americans. When he went to Ghana to be with Kwame Nkrumah, did he help them, I'm Black or Black Power, Black, Black, we Black?
or did he buy into the Ghanaian politics and the Ghanaian culture and the Ghanaian way of things?
Oh no, I'm not denying that Stokely switched from.
Bro, I'm just asking, bro. I'm just listen. A lot of people don't know what you might know and what I might know. So I'm just for clarity, right? And for you, because you're neutral. So I don't want to say it. I want you to say it. So when he went to Ghana to be with Kwame Nkrumah, did he have them chant, because they spoke English, did he have them chant Black Power? Or did he help them buy into the Ghanaian culture and Ghanaian politics?
I'm not 100% sure, but I wanted, but before you.
All right. Wait. Hey, bro. I'm just establishing something. I'm saying he helped Black Americans promote our ethnicity globally. And he went to Ghana to help promote.
All right, family, we are back. We are back on TikTok. You dig? That fast. All right. So we're back on TikTok.
Because Ghana was fairly new, 1967.
All right. So the bottom line with revenue was able to sneak Black in without the power, and he had me arguing that. He still took an L, which is bad. But yeah, so I'll try to be more careful with my TikTok words. And I gotta make sure whoever comes with profanity, they get a warning, and the second time they gotta go. Okay, so we are back on TikTok. Okay. Like I said, I knew I would be back on TikTok because I know I didn't say anything. You feel me? So back to what I was saying. So I'm back on TikTok, family, and back to what I was saying. All right, let me go back a little bit. Okay, so when it comes to ethnicity, right? Race and identity and delineation, right? Again, when we speak about identity, we speak about identity, I should say. We speak about lineage, and we speak about our specific unique ethnicity, our ethnic name, right? But to even understand that, because so many people come against, when we say delineate, people come against it and not understanding the difference between race and ethnicity. So that's why it's important to understand what is the difference between race and ethnicity before you come into FBA spaces arguing against delineation. Because when you talk to the right one, we make a fool out of you. Right? So when we say delineation, we're talking about our unique ethnogenesis in America, which makes us a different group. We're a different ethnic group from anybody else in the world. It doesn't matter if your ship, if your SALVE ship went to Brazil, it went to the Bahamas. It don't matter where it went. Wherever it dropped you off at, you are totally different from us. You are your own ethnic group, Haitians, Jamaicans, Bahamians, whatever it may be. And we are our own ethnic group. Nobody confuses a Haitian with a Dominican. Some of them look identical. But if they could be twins. But if one twin says he's Haitian and the other twin says he's Dominican, nobody confuses them and say, hey, you guys are being divisive. You're the same person. Nobody does that. People respect their borders. Okay? And they look identical. Nobody gives them any flack. Okay, so save it. So what happens is when people say they're Black racially, they're playing into the paper genocide that our country, America, our American government is performing on ethnic Black Americans today. So unbeknownst to y'all don't know y'all doing it. Well, some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. But I'm telling you, when you say you're Black and you can't trace your lineage to U.S. chattel slavery, you are helping to commit paper genocide against Black Americans. Because just a week ago, all you guys were proud to be African. Just a week ago, you were telling us we are not Black. What does our DNA test say? And you were saying we're African. You were telling us we're not Black, we're African. And now, a week later, you're saying you're not African, you're Black. If that's not destiny swap, I don't know what is. And I called this out months ago. I said, yo, they are trying to swap with us. They're saying we're not Black, we're African, while they're saying they're not African, they're Black. Black is reserved for only people who can trace their lineage to U.S. chattel slavery. You don't like it, you want to report the space, it's all good. You can never change that history. We know better. I talk about it often, so people are learning it more and more, where they can pretty much freestyle it themselves. That's my job. My job is to keep talking about this so everybody know it, like a song, like the ABCs. Marco,
What's up, brother? How we doing?
hey, what's going on with you?
Good, good. Are you one of the FBS?
I'm just a Black American.
Okay, I just see the FBA News.
Yeah. So, are you one of the Tethers? I say, if I'm FBA, you must be a Tether.
Yeah, I'm from Somalia, brother.
Okay. All right. So, what's your issue with FBAs?
No, I mean, it's not gonna work. I mean,
What's not going to work?
first, these FBA people, they are very small in number.
No, we're 50. Well, is 50 million people small in number?
And they a lot of them, they are mixed interaction, you know.
Now, I ask you, is 50 million, is that a small number or is that a large number?
But the FBA, we are talking about the FBA.
What does FBA mean?
This is a new ideology, you know.
What does it mean?
New idea.
I got it, but I said, what does it mean?
It means that you guys are claiming to be natives.
No, excuse me. What are the words? F stands for what? Foundational, right?
Foundational Black American.
Right. So what's the difference between a foundational Black American and a Black American?
There is no Black American. There is African American.
No. Wait, hold on. African American came into what? It came about in what year? Because you said new terms, right? So African. What happened? No. Jesse. Hey, my guy. You're talking to a scholar. Jesse Jackson introduced African American in 1989, and it did not get federally recognized until almost the 2000. So that is about 20 years ago. That's a new word to me. But Black American was 60s. So Black American was around 40 years before African American. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I respect your opinion.
No. Okay, so hold on. So let's do facts. Do you know who Jesse Jackson is?
No.
Okay. Right, brother. Come on, man. Listen, you're not ready for my guy. I'm a scholar, and you're just a random Somalian.
So, and I'm Somalian. Can I join your movement?
We don't have a movement, and like you said, you're Somalian. You're part of a movement. You're part of the scam movement, bro. You got your own movement, the scam movement, the Scam America movement.
What are you talking about? What scam?
The Leering Center. Yeah.
Stole the gold. We're taking.
No. You guys, no. That's a lie. America. No. Okay. You're talking to a scholar, bro. I know how to work. You talking about the Berlin Conference in 1884?
Yeah.
Oh.
They came and they transported
No.
a lot of tons of gold.
No. Wait. First of all, Sudan and all that area. That was I believe that was the Belgians, and the British around that area. America had nothing to do with that.
Brother, I wish you good luck with the FBA, but don't forget that we Somalians we stood in the George Floyd time, when George Floyd murdered.
Hey,
We stood
bro.
with you guys.
Listen, if you want to, hey, bro,
We pay with
listen,
it,
listen, if you want to stand with us, then you'll support FBA. You'll support delineation. Do you know what that means?
Delineation is like I don't know the word, man. English is very hard.
It's called to be precise. It's called, like you said, you're Somalian. You're not Sudanese, right?
Yes.
Are you Eritrean?
Somalia.
Right. And we're foundational Black Americans. We're not Somalian. We're not African American. We're not Igbo. That's all that means. Delineation means that we are specifying a name that just belongs to us, because our other name, you guys are now that you're in America, you can be classified as Black American and you can be classified as African American. See, you have been joined with us with that generic name. So we're saying we don't want that generic name. We don't want to be Somalian. Nothing wrong with you guys, but Somalians are Somalians. But Somalians are also Black Americans and they also African Americans. So you have your delineated term, which is Somalian. We don't have a delineated term because we share the same racial classification as you, but we don't have that separate delineating term like Somalian. So what we did was we came up with a few. Foundation Black America is one of them. Adolph's another one. Friedman, and we got Solon. What's the big deal?
FBA.
What was that?
Can I invest on the FBA?
You want to invest in Black Americans?
No, on the FBA.
There's no set. Again, we just define FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans. Now, Black Americans, aren't they ain't about 50 million Black Americans? Yes, no? All right.
African American brother, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, a Somalian tether is an African American, and you gotta go. Cause like you said, your English isn't that well, and I'm not gonna get far talking to you. With that broken English, that's not gonna work out.
Hey, bro, I just want to apologize if my language got your live thrown last round. So my bad.
Nah, it wasn't that. Even that, it could have helped, but it wasn't that. It told me what it was for. People just false flagging. But you definitely gotta, and myself, you gotta watch what you say and try to spell out anything you think can be seen as offensive to somebody.
Yeah, that tether that came up, like, and then this is how this is crazy, right? They know absolutely nothing, but they have all the opinions in the world.
Right. You see, I asked him questions. He knew nothing.
Oh, I know. He's like y'all are African Americans, and he don't even know who Jesse Jackson is. Which is like absolutely crazy, right? And then he put a time box on well, the FBA is a new term, but so is African American. Like right. And as I told you, like I go back far in age, right? So my kids do not have African American. Everybody in my entire lineage, right, has Negro on their birth certificate.
Right.
No one has African American, right?
Right.
So these guys are idiots, but they have all the opinions in the world.
Yeah, so he was shocked that he had to be smart today because I'm sure that he's used to going on TikTok spaces where they throw rocks at each other. This is probably the first time he was asked to know something.
Bro, he was educated from the Leering Center.
Right. I was trying to get to that. I was like saying, didn't you send your children to the Leering Center? These guys are too easy, man. All right, so let me finish what I was saying before he rudely interrupted me with his tether babble. What I was saying was that I was explaining to him, he had no clapback. I said, bro, African American, that's what you are as well. So if I'm African American you're African American. How are we different? Well, you get to delineate. You get to say, hey, I'm also Somalian. What is my delineated term? So then, he couldn't even process that mentally. And I just saying our delineated term can be FBA Adolf, Salon Freeman, whatever we choose. That's all. And having a delineated term does not mean we're being divisive, no more than a Somalian. It don't mean we're being xenophobic, no more than a Somalian choosing or wanting to stick with Somalian. Because when they come to America, they don't all of a sudden, dismiss or cut off the word Somalian and they just Black American or African American going forward. No, it's still called Somali communities. So they have their delineated term while we have a generic catch-all term that even he's a part of. And I'm just telling this guy, we're not doing that. We are clearly defining our ethnic identity, and it's tied to our own history, its lineage and culture, labor, and historical experience. It have nothing to do with what happened in Somalia or Sudan or Jamaica. And even when he tried to lie and say America stole or did something, I think, bro, are you DUMB, bro? Like, yeah, I know that over that region, it was the Belgians or the British over there linking up with the Moroccans, and they were beating up those folks over there. But they like to try to attach America to everything. I noticed that, and it's because they want to tag on to the bag. They want some of the bag. So they don't believe claiming some type of argument against America. So we got Money Ali coming on. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was a mistake. Yeah, man. So no, what happened in Somalia, you got to hold those people accountable. But you also can't be part. That's the bottom line. Honeymoon Day, is that your name?
Yeah, baby.
How you doing? You wanted to say something? Contribute? Wait, how do you say your name? How you pronounce it?
Honeymoon days.
Okay, Honeymoon Day. How you doing? What's on your mind?
Baby.
I didn't hear you.
Baby.
Okay, other than call me baby, anything enough or say?
You got a problem with me calling you a baby? I wouldn't.
No, I just want to know, how do you want to contribute to the dialogue?
You know I'm fucked up, right?
Okay, well then I gotta bring you down.
Look, I'm a Black American, right? And
From what country?
you,
What country?
I'm a Black American. I'm from America.
But do you but wait, do you trace your lineage to US chattel slavery or South America?
Run that by me again.
Do you trace your lineage to
people?
Do you trace your lineage to South America or Africa or the Caribbean?
No, I have no connections to those folks.
Okay. All right. So say what you.
People actually be having me fucked up though.
Hey, but you gotta stop Hey, ma'am.
Same.
Ma'am, you gotta stop cursing. I gotta drop you back down.
Don't drop me, baby.
All right. Listen, I don't know what narcotic you're dealing with, but you gotta go to your meeting. Okay, you got a meeting at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, you might get kicked out.
Yeah, that's not drinking, bro. That's something else.
Damn, yo, sad. Yes, anybody but you. No, Moon Dan, you can't come back on. She's trying to come back on. No, get out of here.
C note says she one of us, but I mean, even if she may be, but there's a better room for her than this one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Just because you are, it doesn't mean that you're who sold us, white tea or Africans, right? And then we're talking about delineation. So if you can't add to that, you got to go. You can't just talk about any old thing. I gave her a chance. She's calling me baby, like she's
She called you baby, right?
yeah, like she's down with Cash Money Records. It's like, all right, listen, gotta go. I'm like, yo, say something. She won't say nothing. Yeah. So stay in the background, mom. This say something coherent. You can't just get on here ranting. You gotta say something, at least what the prompt is asking, or at least what we're talking about right now. And we're talking about delineation. We're talking about ethnicity versus race.
Can I speak? Can I speak to the prompt?
Yeah.
Actually, so when we do our genealogy, right? We begin to understand the thing, right? Which is, part of the whole thing of calling us African, or even genericizing our ethnicity, and creating flat blackness, right? All of this had a specific intent of stealing the land from underneath us, and then removing our claim to it, right? And so when we even address the question, well, who sold us, right? When you do your genealogy, we understand that a very, very small percentage of our ancestry is actually quote unquote African, in the sense of, how many actually stepped off of slave ships and are part of our genealogy, right? Because when you go back as far as 1776, which we're calling that the start of our country, right? Like, I've traced my ancestry to as far back as 1732, and I'm still doing my genealogy. I've taken a break, but if you can trace your lineage back to before the start of this country, and you realize that there's literally little to no Africans in your bloodline. When you ask the question, well, who sold us? It might be the Africans if you found the Africans in your bloodline, but even if you did, they don't constitute all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're a small percentage of our bloodline, right? Now, whether you believe the out of Africa theory or not, that's irrelevant, because we're talking about who's foundational to this country, who was here when this country was formed, and then who built this country, right? And so we're not you, and you're not us, or as y'all would say, well, you are not us, right? Like, it's not even a debate, right? Like, our paperwork goes back to before y'all paperwork. You even have paperwork that called you Fulani. Many of these people cannot tell you who their great grandmother's name was, first, middle, or their maiden name.
Wow.
Especially their maiden name. They cannot tell you their great grandmama's maiden name. They might not even know their grandmama's maiden name. And again, just aging myself, Nigeria didn't issue birth certificates in large scale until I graduated from high school. So y'all don't even know who your maiden name is. You don't even know. And I heard this joke. On a 3 show the other day. Somebody said all Africans are Capricorns.
January 1st. That is funny. I know your sign.
You don't even know I'm a sign. So stop it.
Yeah, that's it. So somebody said, hey, that's how she talk all the time. And I explained the C notes. Now, that might be your sister. I don't know. But I'm telling you, it don't matter. I'm not judging how she sounds. I'm judging how she's adding to the dialogue or the group talk discussion. And look, come back up. Then come back up. Okay, invite yourself back up. Case in point. Got come back up. I'm saying like, you have to be adding to the conversation. You just can't come over here and say any old thing. Yeah, this ain't that type of space. Okay, she's back up.
Say it about Africa. They are not us. We are not them.
Right. Yeah.
I approve this message.
We're not the same people. We actually are not. I'm sorry about it. Actually, I'm not sorry about it. We not them people. We not them folks.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. I concur.
Our actions during our Holocaust, which is actually the Holocaust, right? Even our actions, they sold their people. We bought our people.
Right. And they still doing it today.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
They still doing it today.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna use that. Yeah. So the title is "Who Sold Us?" I should have said who bought us. Oh my God.
I would never claim a motherfucker
Hey, hey, see? Okay, I gotta meet you. God damn, I invited back on and she started cursing. Africans sold us into slavery. We tried to buy ourselves from slavery. That's a huge difference. When it relates to slavery, that's a huge dichotomy when it relates to slavery. They sold us into it and we bought ourselves out of it.
Like a cultural, this shows you that there was a cultural distinction between the ones that got off the ships and the ones that were native to this soil, right? And so, in fact, you know, I'm not gonna go into specifics of the people that I'm talking about, but there are people that are looking into the very topic of manumission because it's likely that, you know, that whole out behavior actually has a lineage to it, right?
Yeah.
Like the ones that got off the ships, they're used to selling each other out. And the ones from this land, culturally, are like, we don't do that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's a whole different mentality, a whole different experience. And like, don't forget, like we started brand new. So whatever they came with when they came here in the shores, whatever that was about, that went away. Like when that generation died, passed away, and they birthed kids on this soil, and then they birthed kids on this soil, they adopted a whole new reality on the world and themselves. Yeah, so that sellout culture was gone. It was now the buyout culture. It was, hey, we're gonna get to freedom together. We ain't gonna step on each other necks to crab in the barrel mentality. We ain't doing that. And that's who we've been ever since then. So did anybody else want to come on and add to the conversation? Anybody who thinks we're wrong? So, and you know what? And everybody who came in this country who wasn't us, it seems like they all end up selling us out. Even Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, he came over here cosplaying as one of us. He hopped in our movement. He shouting Black Power, Black Power. And then the minute Jesse Jackson introduced African American, that tether was all for it. He started to debate Black Americans on how we're not Black, we are African American. So I want y'all to let that sink in. For everybody who's saying they're black now, right now. Well, in 1989, you were saying we were not black. You were saying we're African. We're Africans in America. That's why, like, I know what was going on. I know the debates, the round circle debates. You guys were trying to convince us we were African, and we were saying no, we're not. And the Nation of Islam is like the main organization that was pushing back to the whole we're African thing. You had other black intellectuals debating we're not Africans. We're black people. And then they came with the whole trick bag. Oh no, but look at your DNA, all that type of stuff to take us away from black and have us focus on the motherland, which it didn't really catch on. That's why they needed the DNC and media to promote, and then they kind of forced it on us. Like they started putting on forms and commercials. Hey, we got this type of program for African Americans, not black people, not black Americans. This program is for African Americans. So they kind of like forced our hand. Paper genocide. The same way they forced the hand of the indigenous people to become Negroes. Same instructions. Take off indigenous, put Negro there. Take off black, put African American there. Same instructions. They use the state to push Negro on indigenous. They use the state to push African American on black Americans. That's a fact. Irrefutable evidence. Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Helen.
Helen Cletus. Okay, how you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. I just wanted to say that a lot of people are saying that why are we now saying this? We have always known. It just wasn't something that we publicly stated and said.
And
so it's new to them, but
what
it's
is that?
not new to us.
Saying what? I missed that part.
Oh, saying that we're American Indians.
Okay, I got you.
Or that we're native to this land.
Right.
We've always known that. It was just common knowledge, right? So when other black people came here,
other melanated people came here.
Yeah, when other brown people or dark people came here, they just weren't aware that we knew this or that we had this was our knowledge or this was our truth. And so now that we're saying it, it's just like, oh, what are they talking about?
Right. And we're saying
this is old news. This is not new.
Yeah, and we're saying it because we're delineating. Like our culture is being stripped away, is being erased, our identity is being erased. So yeah, we're fighting for our culture and identity. So we're saying it now because we got to. If we don't say it, it goes away. It gets erased.
Right, we're saying it because apparently y'all didn't know. Like we knew this. It was no reason for us to be walking around saying it when we already knew this.
Right.
It was common, and they're like, "Well, why did everybody's grandmother say they're Indian?" Because we are. That's why.
Yeah, like if everybody grandma is saying it, because even I text my aunt, and my aunt's like 70 years old. She is 70. She said, yeah. She said, yeah, your grandma. It was known. She has some indigenous. And look, the pictures, not just we knowing that when I was like 7 years old, but when you look at her, she looked.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why our grandmother started saying it. Because as we're going to school and they're trying to flip the script on us and tell us, oh, you African, all of you came off of slave ships. And you take that school, that textbook home, and what do you learn in school? Oh, well, this is where they said we came from. And our grandmothers got to sit there and go, no, that's not what we are. Right. That's why your grandmama told you, is because the indoctrination started.
Right. Good point.
Right?
And I think they also wanted us not to get lost. Right. They wanted us to know our truth, because I remember telling my grandma, I was like, but grandma, they said we came over here from Africa on the slave ship. And she laughed and she said, you're Indian. I can call any one of my cousins now and say, what did grandma say we are? And they will respond without even thinking about it. We are Indian. That's how firm she was in making sure that we knew that. Because they didn't want us to get lost in the system. They know themselves what they had to fight and go through to maintain their land. And even they burned our records, because a lot of people are saying, well, show proof, show records. They burned our shit. I mean, excuse me, they burned our stuff.
So let me add to that. So not only that, but the people who were classified as indigenous, they were reclassified as Negro. So all of their records is going to be under Negro. It won't be under indigenous. So so there are no records. The records are under Negro.
And it's exhausting, because the fight that our people have had to fight, and what we've already been through and what we've encountered, and then now for them to say, oh, you're trying to take away from the poor little Native American people. You don't even know the history. You don't even know what's going on. Why are you involving yourself in this conversation?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was just on a live and they were like eating me up. You have no proof or whatever. And I'm like, this is new to you. This is not new to any Black American that's been here.
Yeah, see, but that's the part of erasure, right? So they gotta acknowledge, like, did erasure happen or it didn't? Is paper genocide a real thing or is it fake? Right? Because that's gaslighting. If paper genocide is real, then that means that people identities were erased. So that means that you can't show it. It's over.
You should have heard the Somali that was just here talking about African American, but he couldn't tell you who Jesse Jackson was. Like,
oh my God!
Like they don't know what the fuck they're even talking about. But they got
cursing. You gotta watch it. But it can be kicked off again. So the profanity. Watch the profanity.
Like, we are not trying to prove, like, I don't know why they think we're trying to prove who we are to them. I don't think that's the case.
No.
Like, we know who we are. Nobody is trying to lay down anything to get your approval. Your approval is not necessary in this. That is not our purpose.
Yeah, our argument has always been with our government, right? Because our government is the one who's finessing, who's reclassifying, who's erasing, paper genociding. So our argument has always civil rights, just name it. It's always all the rebellions, everything was against the state, the government. So it has nothing to do with a tether. They're insignificant and they're a small, tiny minority. Like, they can't, come on. So, but we got check in the building, CHEC.
Europe, peace. Hey. They was not eating you up in that last space. What they were doing was, it's called stacking and conversations. Every time an American spoke, you notice that every time we spoke, the host had to respond to it. He didn't want nobody to respond to him, and he would let another African go. Right. This is a tactic that they use. I debate people on Twitter Spaces, so I'm kind of familiar with this. I'm new to TikTok, but I'm on Twitter. Yeah, they had no talking points. He lost me. This is why I knew he didn't know anything about what he was talking about when he said that tribes is a relatively new thing. And every time that he spoke on our ancestors, I checked him, and I would come on my mic. He was like, "Oh, you can't be mature." It's like, no, I'm not going to be a good boy and sit on mute as you call us slurs and names and attempt to tell us about our history. It's not going to happen. Right. Never going to happen. I'm from Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Peace to the room.
Yeah. Peace.
Joe, the educator, came on, and he's an American, Black American, and he wanted to debunk that I was lying and that nothing that I said was true. Were you there?
What was his argument?
His argument is that we all came over here on the slave ship. And he pulled records that show that there was no one in Mississippi before 1700. There were no Black people in Mississippi before 1700s. And then they all ganged up and saying that I was lying and that there was no proof that my people were native to America. And I'm like, we own land from 400 years ago. What are you talking about? We own cotton fields. Like, I legitimately have proof that we were already here.
I'm trying to. Okay, so how is he able? Okay, for him to prove something like that, because like that's some massive evidence. If you're going to prove 50 million people came from Africa, like that's a lot of proof. That's a lot of evidence there. Like he would have to know something about you to even do that. You just can't plaster this on people. Hey, look, you're from here. Boom. No, it's called evidence. Like you got to show me, Ron Harrison. How am I? I'm not saying I wasn't, but to say I was or wasn't, you would need some background. You need to know who I am, my genealogy, my mom's mom. You would need some lot. You can't just plaster something on top of me and say you're not that or I am that. That's not how proof works. Now in TikTok space, that's how that works. But when you're dealing with scholarship, that's not how that works.
Told him, I said two things can be true at once.
The Spaniards highly documented what they saw as they went up the Mississippi in the 1500s. Absolutely. So it's just ridiculous to say that they had proof that no one was here. No, there's proof to the actual opposite.
Yeah, I get into arguments with Mexicans all the time about that. When they start saying Texas was a part of Mexico, I was like, no, Mexico was a part of Texas. Even the Republic, if you look back at the ancient maps documented by the Spanish, they called the area the Republic of Texas. They refer to it as Nuevas Filipinas or Filipina, whatever. However you say that in Spanish, basically translated to New Spain. And the Caddo people, the indigenous people of the Caddo, who were in North Louisiana, East Texas, and Southern Arkansas, they use their word, which is Tasha, if it means friend or ally, and that's where they got the name Tejas from. Nothing about Texas, if it is except colonization, is from the Spanish.
Right.
So
Wait.
I get into arguments
So why did they bring up
history?
Why did they bring up Texas to begin with?
Mexicans?
Yeah.
To feel like they have some type of they're just trying to sun us, essentially trying to say this used to be our land. And I was like, well, your country didn't exist.
Wait, hold on. So, so what happened to it? It used to be yours, but what happened to it?
Yeah, I'm on the same type of time you on.
Right.
I just debunked the notion that it was ever theirs.
I got you. Yeah, there's many ways to skin a cat. But what I like to do is get to the meat of it. It's like, okay, it's your land, but what happened to it? You will offer a bill of sale. You try to act tough. Nah, we ain't selling nothing. And then they came over there smacking you up, and they not only took Texas, they took California, all that coast from you. They just snatched it from you, and you ran like cowards.
To this dude Mac in the comments, there is proof. You simply haven't Googled it yet. I mean, and I know that Google is the only thing that you know how to use. So just Google it. Like I'm not even going to try to educate you because you've already proven you're stupid.
Right, and I'm not going to keep answering questions about my personal family or my personal life. I mean, I said what I said.
When a black person says that they have Indian heritage or ancestry, we're not. I'm not my bad person. We're not Afro natives. No. So, no, I reject that notion too. Like, no, a lot of us have indigenous heritage, and if you don't, then you don't. But like, keep trying to tie us back to that continent. First of all, that's a theory.
Yeah,
you have to
I was going to say that.
Entertain that.
I was going to say the word Afro. That's an immigrant prefix. So when you be Afro-Caribbean, Afro-Latino, that's an immigrant prefix. That's not a foundational prefix. So
the Indians from India. There's also Sri Lankans.
Yeah.
And the Sri Lankans have been Sri Lankans for over 10,000 years. They have been separate from India. That is totally different. Those people, the Indians and the Sri Lankan people, are different people.
Right. Yeah.
Add on to that too. The term India, as far as the country, is a relatively new name. They didn't get that name until 1940 due to the Balfour Declaration. So before that, it was called Shabbat. I said Shabbat. Bharat. It was called Bharat or Hindustan. You know what I'm saying?
So who named it India? The British?
A lot of basically through the Balfour. You can say that. You can say they're one of the people who came up with the name of it.
Okay.
The people of India didn't agree to that though.
Right, of course not. It's called an exonym. An exonym is a term that's placed on you by your colonizers or enslavers. So Nigeria, Sudan, Jamaica, all these are Negro. All these are exonyms.
And they keep talking about records. Do they realize where the records are coming from? Like these people literally destroyed.
Now, but they're not entitled to your records. You know, like nobody can tell you what you're not. Like the reason why we know Tethers are not us because they tell us where they're from. So we tell them, okay, if that's your background, then you're not us.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're like, oh, I pulled records or whatever. The records are from the enemy. Like they created the records. They created what was taught in the school system.
Right. So you got to go. So you got to hold them to the 1924 Racial Integrity Act. So you got to just put them to things to Google. So you got to talk about Walter Plecker and the Racial Integrity Act of 1924. That's when the reclassification started. So yeah, so the record, you're right. In that case, the record is going to reflect whatever they were directed to do, and they were directed to reclassify all indigenous people as Negro or colored, or sometimes even white.
It was a lot going on in this country that they don't even know about. Maybe they know about what happened through a certain point. Oh, slavery happened. Oh, the Black Americans are fighting for freedom. They don't even know the depth of what was going on here.
They don't know a lot about even what you just said. Like these are people like Groove Quest stated earlier. Like these are buffoons who are having opinions. That's why sometimes you gotta just ask them questions. Like forget about being on a chopping block. Sometimes you got to ask them a question. Okay, so who's Walter Plecker? You're telling me that we were not reclassified. Who's Walter Plecker? Right, and then it's gonna be crickets, and then say go Google that and come back. So you're not obligated to always give answers. Sometimes people got to be ready to receive the answer. Giving answers and they're not going to receive it, it won't get you anywhere. So they right. So they got to show that they are willing to learn or know something on their behalf. That's why over here, all I do is expose them and then kick them off, and they be later content on. I do it as a short on YouTube, whatever. But yeah, I don't entertain too much with the idiots. But I am a content creator, so I do have them over here for content. Cook them, fillet them, and then kick them off. And then I have some more content on YouTube, and then back on TikTok as a short over here too.
Yeah, there's so many pages. I mean, it's all coming out now, and like I said, it's coming out now, like you said, because we kind of have to, because we're kind of being erased. But we have already always known. This is not new information to us.
They can't erase me. I'm alive and breathing.
Yeah, but that paper eraser is different because those indigenous were alive and breathing too, but they were totally erased on paper.
Because our grandparents told us, but are we telling our kids? My cousin inherited my grandparents' land, a land that's been in our family for 400 years. Do you know what she did as soon as she got it?
Sold it?
She sold it, yes. She got $600,000, put a for sale on it. Before I could make it to her, it had already sold. And I'm like, what are you doing? What do you mean you sold our land?
Yeah, she didn't even, okay, I'm sorry that you were done. Go ahead.
No, she because she's a kid, right? So the kids are inheriting the land, and we didn't do the work that our grandparents did to constantly tell them who we are and how hard it was to get the land and to keep the land. So as soon as she got it, she was looking at $600,000.
All right, so let me explain that. So I forgot the terminology, but I did a whole live on that. So what happens is that investors, what they do is they contact people like her that's in the family that has ownership or entitled heirs to land, and they would contact people like her, and they'd work out a deal with her to sell it to them. So now they can build some type of township on it, whatever they do, the apartment buildings, whatever they're gonna do with it, oil, whatever they do. But they target relatives in the family that's the most vulnerable. This is a real thing that's happening in New York also. It's a certain terminology that'll come back to my mind, but it's kind of similar to like land theft, but it's through what you just explained.
But we have to educate the kids. We have to let them know. Like so for that was on my mom's side, but on my dad's side, I'm talking to my sisters now, like, what are we going to do? We need to secure the land some way or help the kids to understand the importance of it so they don't sell it, because they don't understand, like, they don't have the great-grandparents and the grandparents telling them the same way that we did.
Right. I agree. Like, so these people are not being educated on how valuable and sentimental the land is, and to hold on to it and try to find value in it, because it's almost like it's almost like they're behaving like Tethers, because Tethers don't see value in their resources in their homeland. So they sell them off to the European, the white tea man, Chinese folks, East Indians. And that's what some people are doing with the land that's passed down to them in America. They take it and just sell it because they don't even understand how it can be valuable. Like it may be there's some oil in that land. Like she just did some goofball stuff.
Just because one person inherited, it's like it wasn't just yours. You got it. Your mom was the last one at home. Therefore, granddaddy put everything in her name, which is also tricky. But now you have it. It's in your possession legally. Yes, you have a right to sell it, but you have to understand that all of our family grew up on this land. Like this is 400-year-old land. It's not just yours to sell, but the kids.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. And yeah, so now we see like so going further, anybody that know kids that's in line of land like that, maybe they 13, 14, this is the best time to start educating because all they see now is social media and money and they want this and that. And before you know it, they'll be broke and without land.
And I like that this is coming back up because, like I said, we all know, like it was so understood for us that it was not even a question or something that we had to talk about. But we're not relaying that same message to the young people and to the kids. So it's good that this is coming back up because then that creates the conversation to have within families to try to teach and educate our young people to help them to understand.
Yep. Yeah. And what state was this?
South Mississippi.
Okay. Damn. That white tea man happy as he is so happy. Got that land. He probably called up Jim, like, Jim, I got one too. She sold the land for only 600,000. This thing is worth 6.7 million. Yeah, we got it from her, and yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna build it.
A whole community of us, and then the one white people.
Wow. Wait, so that one white tea people bought it?
It's like we own like practically a whole town in South Mississippi, and then she
Dang.
Yes, we kept our land, and that's been my question for many years to my grandma. How we get land? Like they say, we came over here on slave ships. How we get this land? Wait, I tried to go back. Like, wait, who was a slave? Trying to figure out when I was a kid, and my grandma was always like, "No, we're Indians. We were always here." But I didn't understand because they were teaching us something different in school. So we have all of our land. We've always had our land. My cousin inherited my granddad's the 4 acres because he had like 115 acres. But then he divided out like to his kids and to people in the family, and that's on my dad's side. And then on my mom's side, like they had 100 and something acres as well. So it was divvied out. So basically, it's our whole family. And the main plot where my granddaddy and where my mom and all her sisters and family grew up, my cousin inherited it, and that's what she sold. She sold the main plot. So now we have this whole town with all of our family, and then the one white tea people on the main land.
Yeah, that's wild. And so just going back, so walk me through. So in some of these spaces, you told them that basically you're indigenous, right? Or you got some indigenous heritage. Is that right?
Yes.
So then what they say to you after that?
So this is on Tripp's page, and he said there's no way.
Oh man, that Tether, man, I've been on, I cooked, yeah, they kicked me off. I was over there, man. I told them they weren't black. They were so mad at me. Oh man.
Yeah, they were eating me up because he was like, "Oh, there's no way you are indigenous. You're not Chinese. You don't look Chinese." And I said, two things can be true at once. And I don't think they understand that. They don't understand that the Native Americans that are classified as Native Americans and us is not the same thing. Like that's a whole different situation.
Yeah, you're not going to get far. There are certain platforms where it's a waste of time. Like you're just talking and you're just content for them. That's it. Like, yeah, I've been over there and I had to just over talk everybody and just tell them, because I was trying to have a civil conversation, but I couldn't do it. So I just crashed out and let them know they're not black. But the way I introduced it, I was breaking down the whole X and them, end of them thing, and how we named ourselves. And I said, so bottom line, what I'm saying is none of y'all are black. The only black people are foundation Black Americans. And man, they was so mad, kicked me off, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm black. You can't tell me I'm not black." And he went like a crybaby. But yeah, but they certain platforms, you're just their content. They just there to troll you and gaslight you and make clips later.
Realize that. That's why I left there and I won't be returning, because he's not there to be educated. He's there to just make fun and whatever else he's doing. He's not there to be educated. But when I left there, I thought about it. Like, we've never had to have these conversations because we already knew. It was understood.
Yeah. It wasn't something like, we didn't go around. If somebody said, "Hey, my grandma is indigenous, or she's part, or she got something in her indigenous," like, we didn't say, "No, you're not. Prove it." Like, where's your records? We didn't do that as Foundation Black Americans. We just like, "Oh, word, okay," and we just kept the conversation going.
Because we know that's a thing.
Because
people who are born here know that.
Right, yeah, because that's a common conversation, like, amongst Black Americans. It's so prevalent. It's so common to hear a Foundation Black American telling someone, a friend, like, "Yeah, my grandmother or my uncle or my granddad, such and such is indigenous." Like that. That's a common conversation that a foreigner would never understand.
You're right. And then when you do, they're like, "Oh yeah, me too." Like my grandma was Native American, or my grandmother was American Indian, or whatever. It's common. That's why I said it's so common that we've never had to put it out like this. We've never had to have this conversation. And we see now, having this conversation, how it's kind of got erased or washed away. People don't know. People didn't know who we are.
Right, because one of my close friends, when he told me that, this is some years ago. This is some good years before FBA was even thought of, or ADOS. When my man told me about, like, his side of the family, like, I know his side of the family, and a lot of them, they look like that can be true. Like, so it wasn't even questionable. It's like, yeah, like, I could see if they look like a bunch of Africans, that you could say, "Man, stop the cat." But they all look like they got that type of skin color, like that reddish type of skin color. They all got that funny looking hair. So I'm like, yeah, all right, it sounds believable to me, and I left it at that.
And also, like, my dad has curly hair, but he worked outside in the sun. And my grandma used to laugh because she was like, she would find something white, and she was like, "When your dad was born, like, he was that color, but he's been out in the sun, so he's turned darker over the years, so he is darker now." But I mean, it's not always dark though. Like,
right,
you can be Indian and still be dark. So that's not that's not always a way to tell.
Yeah. You're right, because they got some Mexicans that's like dark as crap that look like they're indigenous. So the dude trip, what made me stop ever going back is that when I cooked them, I wanted to listen to it and play it over on YouTube, but there's no copy of it. I said, so he's not saving his videos? How does that work? So I said, yeah, okay. Never.
Content for him, and he has no desire to be educated. He's stuck on what he is considering truth, and he's not opening himself up to hear what we have to say. And that's what I told him. I said, "You say you want to find out how to interact with us and how to get along, and you won't even listen to what we're saying."
Look,
you should.
Here's the thing. Now, I mean, cut you off, but when people are only invitive and don't accept invites, you already know they have an agenda. Like if he's right in if he's sincere in what he just said, that means that he would join other spaces too. Like he won't only just send invites.
Right. And he was saying how can Africans and Black Americans get along? That's the reason why we can't, because you won't listen. You won't listen to our story. You won't even try to take an interest in what we're saying. You just cut down what we're saying before you even try to hear it out. There were so many things that happened on this soil that's not written down anywhere. And then he says, well, just because somebody told you, or then that's not relevant. What do you mean?
Okay, so then we should throw out all of Africa's oral traditions. Because all of what they know about each other has been orally passed down to each other. Same way how we heard our grandmother was indigenous or part indigenous, whatever. If that's thrown out, then all of oral traditions are thrown out.
He's not serious. He's not serious. He's not interested. They're not serious in really knowing.
Yeah, no tether is serious. And that's why we call them tethers. All they do is lie. Tether?
What does tether mean?
Okay, so a tether is a word reserved for a foreigner. Okay, it can be of African roots, it could be Jamaican, in the Caribbean, it could be European, Latino, Latin America. If you're a foreigner and you find yourself deliberately disrespecting FBAs, undermining us, sabotaging in any way, shape, form, you're a tether.
Right. I agree.
So we group them all up into a box and we say, this is a European tether, this is an African tether, this is a Caribbean tether, this is a Spanish, Puerto Rican, or whoever tether. They're all in this box tether.
See you later, cowboy.
And that's what a tether is. So not all Hispanics are tethers, not all Africans, not all, because you got some, everybody in every, like you got good and bad in every ethnic group. So when they come against us, like what you're hearing, what you're experiencing, that makes them a tether.
Of course, we're tethers, yes.
Well, it depends. Are you a tether?
Yes.
So okay, so that means that you go around disrespecting Black Americans for no reason.
I disrespect anybody that disrespect me.
No, but okay, listen what I said again. A tether, well, have you been disrespected here yet?
Always.
No, here. Right. So hold on. Wait, so hold on. So far, it's a clean slate between you and I, right?
It's what?
So far, it's a clean slate between you and I. I don't know you, you don't know me, right?
Yes.
So I didn't disrespect you, and you didn't disrespect me, right?
Of course.
Okay, so let's start brand new like that. Okay, go. So that means we're starting brand new. So whatever you experienced somewhere else, that's your experience there. But over here, you have not experienced that, right?
No, I've not experienced that. But if you call my brothers tethers, I might as well join them and be a tether.
Okay.
I can't stand alone.
So hold on. So do you think there's what country are you from?
Nigeria, I'm Igbo tribe of Nigeria.
Okay. So do you believe every Nigerian has a good heart?
Kedu, sir.
Kedu?
It was your brother that told me.
Wait, hold on, Helene. One second. I want to ask Pieces one thing. So do you think all Nigerians have a good heart? Like,
No.
Okay. So the ones who don't have a good heart and they're up to no good, aren't they like bad people, bad Nigerians?
They're Nigerians, yes.
Right, but aren't they a bad Nigerian or a good Nigerian? Because you got good and bad people, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, would they be part of the good Nigerians, or I'm talking about they're like really, really bad? Would they be part of the good Nigerians or bad Nigerians?
Well, I don't know the one that really.
No, it's hypothetical. It's hypothetical. I'm saying like if.
Okay, they're bad Nigerian,
right.
but I think
Hold on.
it's across board.
Right. Look, I'm saying that right, but I'm making a point. So if if I have an experience with a bad Nigerian, I'm gonna point out this Nigerian is bad, right? So when you have an experience with a Black American, if he's bad and rude, you had experience with a bad Black American, right?
Yes.
Right. So that don't make all Nigerians, that don't make all Black Americans bad. Just that person is bad, right?
Yes,
okay, so why would you join the bad ones when you're not bad?
Okay, let me tell you why.
Yeah.
In mathematics, which is the language of the universe, when we have 5.5, it can be approximated to 6. If we have 5.3, it's still 5.3 or it's still 5. But once you get to 5.6, 5.5 in math, it can be 6. So now, if you have 70% of your population, though you have 30% that are very good, that are clergies, but you have 70% that are very bad, I personally can call you a bad society. So just like if you have 70% of Nigerians scamming, you can say Nigerians are scammers. Yes.
Or
of approximation.
Well, that wouldn't be true because only 10% of white man enslaved Black Americans over in America, but that don't mean only 10% was bad and 90% was good, or that don't mean they all were good because 90% didn't enslave people. So sometimes you're bad if they have enough power and influence and control. Sometimes that small percentage can represent the whole people.
My general experience about other races of people, especially non-Black people, I have never really met. I have never met more than 10% that I would say good. Not just Caucasians, all non-Black people.
Wait, when you say all non-Black people, where are they from?
Chinese, means Dominican, means Mexicans.
Okay,
means
so who would you
Caucasian.
classify as Black people then?
The people I can classify as Black people are people that are of African descent.
No. So let me help you out. So you just said you're Igbo, right?
Yes.
That's your ethnic tribe, right?
Yes, that's ethnicity.
Right. So yeah, I got you. So so what's the difference between race and ethnicity?
Race, ethnicity, just like culture.
Right. I know. What about race?
Okay. Race is a genetic makeup.
No, race is a social. No, sir. Race is a social construct that white people made up and call all people that's dark, including indigenous people. They call them all Negro, and it's not just their color. The word Negro, the way it was applied, they were saying everybody with that color are inferior, and they're due wrongdoing. That means you could do them wrong and it's justified, and they are half human. They're like closer to an ape. So no, it wasn't just phenotype and how you look, your melanin expression. It was they seen people who were dark as gorillas, basically. Okay, but hold on.
That's restricted to USA.
Wait. No.
But can I just respond? I'm not
Wait,
disrupting.
let me just. I got you, but let me just.
Go ahead.
So it's not USA because Negro is not an English word. The USA was colonized by British people, English speaking people. Negro is a Spanish Portuguese word. So that's a word that English people adopted and they continue the culture calling people dark hue Negro. So that's not an English, that's not an American thing.
Say that. That's if you let me
Okay,
explain, you hear what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
I did not say what I'm saying is that mindset of everybody being Negro, people from Mumbai or Sri Lanka, because they're darker than people from Africa, they're all Negro in America or Black, that's restricted to only USA. USA is 5% of global population. We don't care what USA does or thinks. That's in your country.
Stop the cap.
If you bring somebody that, like Smokey Robinson, that will be Black in America, you bring him to Africa, he's not Black.
What is he?
He's mixed.
No, but okay, got it.
South Africa is colored.
Wait, no, I got you. But what is his ethnicity when he's in South Africa?
I don't discuss ethnicity, I discuss race.
Right, but race. Wait, hold on, brother. You just said that Igbos has an ethnicity, right?
Yes.
And they also have a race.
Yes.
So what is our race, Black Americans? What is our race?
I don't know your race.
Okay, so what is... Hold on. No. And so what is our ethnicity?
Your ethnicity might be Black American.
Oh wait, okay, start right there. Start right there. So now, when you have an ethnicity, that's nothing. There's nothing that's shared. Like Igbo has an ethnicity, so they can't share it to people in Sudan or Somalia or in the Congos. They got their own ethnicity, their own ethnic culture. So your ethnic culture is called Igbo. Our ethnic culture is called Black.
Well, I keep telling you, I don't talk about culture. Culture is man-made.
No,
The genetics.
everything's man-made, my guy.
Genetics. Okay, listen. All Arabs in the Middle East, all of them are not Arabs. They're only Arabs by culture. Even small heart people, if you go to the country of the small heart, all of them don't have ancestry to the land.
Wait, but let's go backwards. Let's go backwards because
what is that?
No, you go down a rabbit hole. So what I was explaining to you was this.
You have to understand what I'm saying.
Now, I got you. But you're going down a rabbit hole. But hold on, I want to. I want to just hold you. No, look. I just want to hold you right here. I got you. But you're not answering. I got you, but you didn't answer the question I gave you earlier.
But you don't let me because you think you have the answer.
No, I don't. I don't have.
That's all you
I got you. I don't have the answer, but you just admitted. You admitted that your ethnicity, your ethnic culture is Igbo, right? And what is your nationality?
Nigeria.
Right. And what is your continental identifier?
What you mean identify? I'm black.
No, you're African. You're not black.
Listen. In Africa, I'm black.
No, in African, in Africa, you're African.
When you go to, when you look up what Africa is, it will tell you
54 countries, and none of y'all. Wait. So when did you? What's your language to call yourself black in Igbo?
OG.
Okay, OG.
In Ghana, or Bini.
Okay,
in
Bini.
other countries, it had different things.
Got it. So now, where's your black flag? Because the Nigerian flag is green and white, right?
My tribe does not operate with flag. We have other things we operate.
I didn't say tribe. I said Nat because your nationality is Nigerian. Right.
A flag.
Right. And what color is your flag?
Green, white, green.
And it's called the Nigerian flag, right?
Yes.
Right. You didn't call it the black flag.
What you mean? The flag don't go by race.
No. Bro, that's just,
you go by nationality.
My guy.
So many different peoples.
Black is a word. People like Joe Black. A guy named is Joe. His last name is Black. So Black can also be a name of something.
News is a word.
Right. But it could also be a name. You can take words and call your kids after that word, and that word becomes a name. But my point is, is nothing black about Igbo culture. There's nothing black about Nigerian culture. There's nothing. But there's nothing. Look.
As in culture, you're mixing the two things.
I got it. Hold on.
You're culture centric.
Hold on.
Into culture.
I know. Because you're talking in circles, my guy. You're plebiscite babbling.
I don't say what cares.
Yeah, but you're
That's
not.
Why
it's for you. But you're just talking over it, bro. In America,
because you don't let
right.
me. You don't.
But you just
ask me a question.
But you just acknowledge.
It's typical FBA.
Well, it's typical Tether to just ramble and don't want to make a coherent sentence. Now, you just, hey, bro, listen, right, but you're cosplaying as one of us at the same time. So how are you a Tether from an Igbo tribe who's Nigerian and you're also black?
Like you.
Yeah, but how are you?
Like you?
But why?
Your food?
Why are you?
Wear your clothes?
Hey, bro, why are you cosplaying as one of us? You're not black. Because you're African, you're Nigerian, you're Igbo, and you're black too. So you're 4 different things. That's tether babble. That's tether confusion, my guy. We're just one thing. No.
About blackness?
Hey, bro.
You insane.
Yeah, look how crazy this guy is. Black is a word, my guy. We can also use freedmen. No, hold on. Listen, like the sister said earlier. You see how they don't talk to have an understanding of our culture, of what things are. They just talk because they just talk. Right. So, okay. So why are you in our culture space? Let me get you up out of here. Another tether who clearly acknowledged himself as Igbo, Nigerian, African. Those are three different identities.
And they won't listen.
At all. He got three different identities and he want to take on a fourth one. Black.
Please hear, like, have a conversation. Hear what we're saying. Respond after you hear what we're saying.
Here's the thing. He's seen the train of logic happening and he tried to cut in front of it. Now all of a sudden he don't want to identify culture when he just did. He says he's Igbo. Veen Brown Court. How you doing? Vino? You there, Vino? Nah, you ain't listening, peacemaker. You were just tether babbling. You seen the logic. You seen that you were Igbo ethnically. You're not black ethnically. So everything you do as an Igbo person, Igbo get the credit for. So Vino, I hear you now. Go ahead, Vino.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, I made a mistake. My phone fell.
Okay, no problem. All right, no problem. Yes, it's cool. All right. So as I was saying, I think King, so I'm gonna drop you down. You know, okay, here's some background. All right. So he said he's Igbo ethnically. So he was running from the comparison, the comparison. The way you're Igbo ethnically, we're black ethnically. He's caught up on the word black also being the word of a color, also being the word of a racial box. He act like when something is used for one thing, it's not used for other things.
Because they don't understand the ladder that got us to black, right? They don't understand that it started out as color. It started out as mulatto. It started out as Negro. They don't know that there's been a ladder that got us here. Like, we didn't just start here as a black person. Right. Like, it's been a lot of things going on in this country that people don't know. And then they say, well, we read the history books. It's not all documented. And just because it's not documented, that doesn't make it not true.
All right. So now I'm invited. Well, he said I'm a Tariq Nasheed follower. No, Tariq actually calls you black. I said you ain't black. So I can't be a follower, my guy. So now invite yourself back on. And if we can't establish facts and agree on things, you ain't gonna just babble about Europe and all this stupid stuff. We're gonna have a dialogue. I'm gonna show you how your ethnicity, you told me, I asked him what's our race. He said he don't know. I said, what's our ethnicity? He said he don't know. So you don't want to know? I'm telling you, I'm trying to tell you our ethnicity and you talking about some babble stuff. Oh, well, the Arabs, dude, we're talking about Nigerians and black Americans, my guy. That's it. We're doing a comparison and contrast and comparison between Nigeria. I'm explaining how you have a nationality and ethnicity. We have a nationality and ethnicity. Now, we don't have a continental identifier. Like, you guys are called Africans, but there's no such North American. We're not called North Americans. Like, that's not in our vocabulary at all. Like, we're just called Americans. So your ethnicity is Igbo. Ours is black. Your nationality is Nigerian. Ours is American. So
it's confused with the skin color because right. When they hear black, then they connect.
And that's another mistake, that he's not listening. Like, he's borrowing the definition of a white man and calling everybody black, and he's not listening on purpose because he doesn't want to understand. Like you're saying about Triptych, like these guys want to play to be in a state of confusion, but they're not. So Peacemaker's back. So the way I dialogue, my guy, I dialogue with understanding. I don't go back and forth with the name calling and foolishness, because I didn't say you did. I said what I don't do, because I know you're into TikTok spaces that do that. You're on a platform where you're going to be held to the higher standard of research. Now, Your ethnicity is Igbo, right?
Yes.
What is Black Americans' ethnicity?
Your ethnicity is Black Americans.
Wait, no. Stop. You don't know, so won't you know now so you can sort of, my God, you don't know, so now you're gonna know. It's not Black American. It's Black.
What is it?
It's Black. Now Black. Okay, so down right there. So Black is a name we chose. It could have been white. It could have been red. It could have been yellow. It could have been a cat. It could have been Burger King. These are just words to identify yourself. We chose Black. It had nothing to do with a phenotype. Had nothing to do with a skin complexion, because most of us are not dark like you guys over there. All right. If I turn my camera on, I'm light skinned. So Black doesn't mean a phenotype. Prince is damn near Chinese in complexion. So Black does not represent a phenotype. You're mixing up our ethnicity.
See, you talk too long. You have to let me into the conversation. I noticed that you American.
He had to go. He had to go. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to know. I just asked the guy what's our ethnicity. He doesn't know, and he didn't want to know. All right, you got to go. That's your second chance. What's that? Dr. Love, did you mean to hop on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, how'd you want to? Yes, sir. What's on? How'd you want to contribute to the conversation?
Oh, man, what's the topic?
So
I don't want to.
All right, no problem. So, well, the topic, before I get to the topic, how you pronounce your name is Dr. Love, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay, and what country are you from?
Uganda.
Okay, so hello to you. Now, the topic kind of shift. So I'll give you the first topic. The first topic is, the prompt is, who sold us? So Black Americans, like, who sold us? Was it the Africans or the white T-man?
It was a business transaction between Africans and white T people.
Right.
So white T people were in the market.
Right, but who sold us?
Africans had what the white T people were looking for.
Right.
So Africans.
Okay. Now, you know why? Because most people do not know that. Like, it seems simple to you, like a easy answer, but most people would get that mixed up, believe it or not. They don't think there was a transaction at all. Like, most people, when I say most people, I'm talking about from the continent, Africa. They think the white T-man just got ships, came to the shores of Africa, and just snatched up 15 million of us, and then brought us across the diaspora. Like, that's what they think happened. That's why the topic's there. Okay.
These are two partners in crime.
Right.
So when you look at it.
Right. Okay. So now, good. We're past that. Great, easy answer. So look, Helen, if he got it, trust me, they all get it, because this isn't rocket science. This is common sense. Just get a book, just Google it. It's right there. Now, the more harder. Go ahead.
If I was there, I would have been sold too, because they didn't care who they were selling.
Well, okay, so the white T-man did have a preference, though. The white T-man, the way it works, you ever heard of something called brain gain?
I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard.
Okay, so the white T-man doesn't take anybody. Just like right now, to come to this country, he wants your best. He don't have to take anybody. It's called brain gain, right? So they always want your best. So it depends. Maybe they wouldn't have sold you, because the white T-man, he's gonna have you do jumping jacks, open your mouth. He's gonna feel your muscles. He want to know your background. He want to know. He gonna ask you questions about agriculture. He want to know that you can do what he wants you to do, right? Because they okay.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay, cool. And we passed that now. Yeah. So maybe you would have been sold, maybe you wouldn't have. We don't, depends on how they value at that moment. But that.
You gotta be strong, dude. You gotta, because it was at the end of the day, it was working on the field.
Right, 24/7, hot,
make sure that
scorching sun and cold weather too. So you got to be able to endure diseases that white people couldn't endure. Right. Okay, so they knew what they were going after, and they went and did that. Now, how do you feel about this theory? Well, it's actually a fact. What's the theory too? So
I just feel like that shouldn't have been done. They would have tried to figure out a better way to not sell those Africans and You know, I don't know what those Africans that were selling these Africans, what they were thinking at the moment, because it just, you know, doesn't make sense for somebody to just sell, you know, people, you know, to the random white people, and you don't know what they're gonna do with them or how they're gonna treat them. You know what I mean? So for me, it just comes out as, you know, selfish to those Africans that actually did that.
Now, look what happened as a result. Now, those 15 million people that they sold, they could have put use for them. Like they could have had them build up Africa, right? West Africa. Why not?
Well, let me tell you one thing about Africa. Africa is a mindset. You know, sometimes we try to pay much focus on like the people rather than the mindset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
It still would have been the same mindset, really. You know what I mean? It's just that you guys ended up picking up the European mindset because you have lived with European for a very long time. That's the only difference. But it wouldn't make any difference.
All right, so what about this? So now the history showed that they sold us, right? And they sold people to the Brazil and the Caribbean. As a result, about 300 years, my ancestors were used as free labor, right? They did labor almost for 300 years. Now they build up the white societies where they became superpowers, right?
Right.
Right. And then the white people with their superpower, they came back to Africa, which is known as the Berlin Conference, right?
Right.
And then with that superpower, because of our free labor, we built their economies. They had money. They were able to, right. So now they go back to Africa. They're different than when they're different people than who they were 300 years prior, right? They're more powerful, where it's no more negotiating in the terms of equality.
So they made you. So it's like they benefited from you guys' labor, right? Is what you're saying?
Right, and they became superpower countries, right? High in technology, high in science, and now they're coming back to Africa, flexing their muscle. Like, look what the people who you had no value in. Look what how they valued us, right? So now I say this. I say so. Africa, especially West Africa, shouldn't be complaining about the whitey man, because there wouldn't be no powerful whitey man had you not sold them 15 million people. So it's like the chickens came home to roost. Like this is your Frankenstein that's coming to kick your ass.
I wouldn't look at it like that, because you gotta understand that you gotta understand that, you know, black people in America, they're not violent people.
Right.
And white people are violent people.
Right.
So now when they go to Africa, they go with violent. So that doesn't represent the black people in America.
I'm not talking about representing us. No, I'm not saying us. No, you missed that. I'm not saying. Okay. Look, I didn't mention black Americans at all. And after I said black Americans, we were used as a labor force to build up America to become a superpower. Okay, so now I'm
say they come back and flexing is they're flexing with violence though.
Right, but this ain't black Americans. Black Americans are still being Jim Crowed and convict least. Like we're in a form of slavery still, a form of servitude, right? We barely got rights. Okay, so hold on. So I'm saying the people who went to Africa to flex their muscles, these are white people, not even America, because America didn't Berlin Conference them. We're talking about the other white people who had forced labor, the French, and everybody, Spain, they went over there, the Belgians, they went over there flexing their muscles, saying, hey, we're about to carve this place up, and we're going to dominate for eternity. So I'm saying this. Had Africans never sold their enemies their most valuable resource, their enemies would have never had superpower countries to come back and kick their ass. So it's essentially their own fault.
Yeah, but and again, remember earlier I said about the mindset, right? So having a superpower is a mindset. It's not about you, and it's about see the number one thing, that mindset of selling another black person. That's where
well, you can't say another black person. You mean selling a person? Because remember, like.
Okay.
Well, not even that.
African. So that's
not even that, because
that's the type of mindset I'm talking about.
I got you, but not even. But you can't even say that. You can't say that because they said that they were not selling their own. This is their statements. They said we didn't sell our own. We sold other people. So
They,
Go ahead.
but that's not right. That's not true that it was other people. It was their own. They try to
No.
make it sound so they don't take the blame.
No, they were Queen Nzinga. Queen Nzinga, you familiar with her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, she didn't sell her own. She sold people who were not part of her tribe. No, they did not sell their own.
Right.
They took people from other places and sold them. They didn't see them as themselves. So whatever their tribe was,
Exactly.
right. So it wasn't their right. Okay, so so they seen them as different.
Exactly. So this is why tribalism comes in. Yes, that's normal. If you don't come from my tribe, I don't really care about you like that. You know what I'm saying? So that is what I'm saying.
But why is that normalized? Yeah, but why is that a mindset that's wild?
Yeah, it's a mindset, and for us to be able to, we gotta. It's hard to get rid of the mindset. I don't think it's somebody can get rid of because it has turned into a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So it's just deeper than getting rid of that. It can, for example, right, like Ibrahim Toure right now, what he's doing right now. Trust me, there is some tribe in Burkina Faso that don't like him simply because he doesn't come from their tribe. See the mindset I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So,
and plus, like he did just do a coup d'etat. He did just kick in the door, waving a 4-4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you find out about that coup d'etat, of course, the guy wasn't really doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he had all the right to take over and do the right thing. But then again, if you find out, it's either he didn't like, it's either because the tribal thing is the reason why he ended up doing that. You understand? Maybe the head of the military was from the same tribe as him. So as they were planning all these things without this president knowing, so it's like you don't even come from our tribe. So it's the tribe-set mentality that we have in Africa is the reason why it's not making us to be able to get where we want to be. But with the YT people, the reason why it's like they unite, they get together to build. It doesn't matter their differences, but we don't do that.
Okay, so we're hundreds and hundreds and years later. Like when are they going to say, you know what, we got to get on one accord? Because if we don't, they'll continue to fractionalize us and take advantage of our differences. Like when do that aha moment sets in Africa?
When would you please repeat that again? Sorry, I was.
So the aha moment when you say, "Oh, I got it." As long as we're tribal and divisive and xenophobic, they're going to continue to run over us. If we drop that xenophobia, divisiveness, tribalism, and we just look at ourselves like how they kind of look at themselves, we can stop this from happening, this abuse, this predatory practices, and we could finally do something for ourselves. Like, when does that aha moment ever set in?
That moment, it was never going to happen because you think about it, like there is always one of us who would want to do business with YT people. Like, trust me, like there's always that one guy, that one country. We can okay, we all going to be on the same code and this is what we're going to, do. And there is always going to be 3 or 5 countries that would disagree with that and would definitely want to work with YT people and would want to give every single information to them. For example, right? I can tell you this guy, France has been kicked out in a lot of West African countries, right?
Just 3.
Okay. But now
just 3 countries, that's it. Just 3.
But now if you saw that, last week or 3 days ago, this Macron, he has been brought in by Kenya. You understand?
Right.
So there's always going to be that one person. It's not going to
Yeah, but what's the problem? Okay, look, there's no problem with using the white man to get what you want. Like, for example, you ever heard of how Japan became a superpower in 46 years?
Nah.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say, brother. You hopped on the right platform. I'm a scholar, so I research a lot of history. I don't just focus on what people just focus on. I have expanded my research. So Japan, they didn't like the white man either. They seen him as barbarians. They had names for him, right? But they understood that they were in the technological era. So they used the white man to do business with, and they just learned from them. They got stuff out of them. So as they extracted whatever from Japan and got what they want from the Japanese people, they made sure that the white man was teaching them how to build their own guns. So that they're not just perpetually keep buying from Africa. And they did that, and also with the car manufacturing, they went to America and everywhere else, and they took pictures of the factories and the machinery, and they went back and replicated that. They went back, and now you got
Yeah, but that's not
Mitsubishi.
it, remember? It's about the mindset. The Chinese mindset and us Africans mindset is totally different, bro.
Right. So look, what I'm saying is that you can learn. So what happens? You can learn because Japanese had the same thing. Like, they were tribal. They was really tribal, but their government, what they did was they decided to delete the shogun people, the samurai class. They said, you know what? These people are outaged. They out of dated. They outdated thinking, and they actually just deleted them. They wiped them out.
Right. Right. I feel like the only way we can get rid of that is we gotta get rid of our chiefs. These chiefs in these, you know, in our villages, they are also a major problem, contributing on dividing tribes. That's what they are there for. So if we can get rid of that, and I don't think that will ever happen, to get rid of our chiefs, because, you know, a lot of people that are going to stand against that, right? So more especially like the old school people, they're definitely going to stand against that.
Right, of course.
You know,
Like the shogun did in Japan, but they deleted them.
Right. But then again, so it's gonna take a lot, man. You know, like we see Africans, it's you gotta be. It's kind of, I'm African myself, but sometimes I have a hard time understanding us. You know what I mean? That's the.
But bro,
part is like,
why not take a page? Why not?
We operate.
Yeah.
It's hard to understand how we operate, bro. Like,
So
your mind would blow up. Like, man, what the heck is going on? That's
so
what.
why not just take a page from Black Americans' playbook?
And we can't do that. We're too prideful. That's the thing again.
So y'all just can't come under one umbrella name. So like for us, Black America, we just say we all black, no matter you from.
We cannot do that. Like I told you, if we want to get rid of our chiefs, the chiefs that we have, that would be a big problem. And for us to be able to get into the umbrella of Black Americans, we got to get rid of these our tribes and all that stuff. And that's almost impossible to do that.
So why not? Okay, how about this? So when Africa links up with the white man, why not whisper in their ear like, "Hey, help us get rid of our chiefs."
Do you think that they have never tried?
I'm talking about with the white man help.
Yeah. I've tried. They can't. They're not going to succeed.
Wow. So that's Africa because of those issues, right?
Yeah, definitely. I can see that because, you know, it's making it worse because you guys don't have a specific tribe that you come from. So it's still, you guys will. You're not part of, you know, the continental Africans, because if we come from the same country, if I tell you, hey, look, I'm Ugandan, then you're gonna go deeper and ask me which tribe you come from. Right. If you don't tell me the tribe you come from, I'm not gonna trust you like that.
Really?
Yeah. So now with you guys, it's even worse because you definitely don't have a tribe. So I'll definitely see you as a random, completely person.
Right.
Yeah,
we don't have a tribe, but we have a commonality.
Now,
exactly. That's the difference with you guys and the continental Africans. You guys are good in doing that. You guys are good in, you know, looking at each other. Just we all black. You guys are very good at doing that. But we Africans, we're not good at that at all.
And our commonality runs deep. It's in our sayings, it's in our food, it's in our actions. It's deeper than just skin color.
Yeah, it does. Big time. And I wish if we Africans also can like go best of that as well. But here's the thing though, don't get us wrong, but we get it wrong in umbrella of being Africans. Okay, so if I were to go, so if you and I were to go to, let's say, to go to any country in Africa, right? So for you, you would say, look, I'm Black American, all right? But for me, the moment I say I'm African, they'll see me they'll see me closer to them than they are with you, to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's and you know, that's like normal, you know, we're like, you know, we are all Africans. That's, you know, but we into that umbrella of we are all Africans. But now when it comes down to, we use that when we travel into different African countries. We say, hey, I'm African, but most people wouldn't really. Some people would try to ask you exactly which country you come from, but some they wouldn't bother. But you know, and that's the thing with us. So if I'm in my country, I tell you I'm Ugandan. You as in Uganda, you gotta have to ask me which tribe you come from. So if I tell you my tribe, if I tell you my tribe, you're like, oh, okay, like you feel comfortable now to be even around me or talk to me. But if I don't tell you my tribe, then people feel like there's nothing we can talk about. You know what I mean? Like they feel like they don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying? So they will try to be as very secretive, as very private as they can be. You know, because they think that you don't.
All right, YouTube. I'm gonna have to. I'm on my phone or on TikTok,
so they don't know you.
So I gotta pick my son up. But so I gotta end the YouTube. But if y'all got TikTok, y'all want to get over right now. Especially if you want to talk. SWLE. This is the place where you could be long-winded. But y'all want to come over to TikTok. I gotta end the YouTube in about 5 minutes. Okay. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. Thanks for the super chats. Y'all can support $Unbiased RON. But I'm on my phone with the TikTok, so I gotta continue with the phone. But the laptop can't. It won't have service. So come to TikTok if you can. But I appreciate all of y'all. About 5 minutes.
Barely just, I wouldn't go to
I'm gonna disconnect from YouTube.
I mean, well, here I would do it, but when I'm, you know, back home, we were raised to not just go to a random's house, you know, person, right? Like a different tribe. I can go to someone who's come from my tribe and we can sit down and eat, right, and enjoy. But I'm not gonna go randomly to a different tribe and just go and eat or drink water or I'm not gonna do that because they don't come from my tribe. So I don't know what they think of my tribe. Maybe they hate my tribe, right? So I'm gonna be very a little bit more spectacle on, you know, even like, you know, like eating their food, right? So that's how, you know, that's how bad it is because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all Africans, but sometimes we don't really, you know, trust each other like that.
I have a question. Why do you think America was made to the free land? Africa has gold, it has resources, it has many, many different things already in Africa. Why would they bring people from a land that has all the things?
Mm-hmm.
Why would they do that? Everything was there. The people were already there. The resources were there. The gold was there. The rubber was there. It's the land with all of the things. Then why would they leave that land and come to America to build up America? Build it up, they say.
Yeah.
Why would they do that to come to America?
Are you talking about the enslaved Africans or the Africans that come to America?
I'm talking about they came and found a new world. They claimed it to be a new world.
Yeah.
Why would they build up this new world instead of building up Africa, since Africa has all of the things? It has all of the resources. The people were there. Everything was already there. Why didn't they just build up Africa instead of coming to America to build up America?
Because they were envying Africa and they wanted to actually, they wanted to use some of the Africa resources to be able to build the Americas that they have today. So it's basically they wanted the Africans to build the Americas for them because they can't build. They're not strong people. They don't think on themselves. They gotta rely on Africans in order for them to be able to build.
Can I try and answer that question?
Yes.
So the issue is it was easier in part because of disease to conquer Native Americans. And Africa is not like America. It is huge. They were not able to do to Native Africans what they were able to do to Native Americans. Native Americans are almost like not even a part of the conversation anymore. That didn't happen in Africa. Every place they tried to colonize and settle in, for the most part, they eventually were kicked out because there were more people and the resistance was greater. It was easier to take a few of the people out and isolate them in the United States and oppress them in isolation from the rest of their tribes, but they could not have done that on the continent because they couldn't wipe out the population or oppress the population in its native situation in the same way that they did to Native Americans.
Doctor, are you from Zimbabwe or South Africa?
I'm from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Could I interject?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Curtis.
That's the question. I'm from the Ivory Coast, which is called Côte d'Ivoire. It's a French-speaking African country.
Okay.
The young lady asked a question regarding why Africans come to America. Okay, I have when I was a child, whenever we my father turned on the radio in Ivory Coast, there is Voice of America, Roger Foley, Voice of America. And the first thing you come on in the 70s, James Brown, Wilson Pickett. America flooded our radio station. America, I mean, it was like, even when you reach, I got some friends that the family was very rich, but they were sending the kids to America just for vacation. And whenever they come back, we say, oh, yeah.
I think she was talking about slavery. I think she was talking about slavery. She was asking why did they bring African people to America for slavery?
Pre-slavery. Why did they choose?
You mean post-slavery?
Yeah.
The land that they built up, and you said because there was less resistance in America than there was.
He's talking about
they were kind of so everybody's a little confused. So you meant post-slavery. So she was speaking about recent immigrants coming to America today. Why are they preferring America over Africa today? Yeah. So now, but before you answer that, Curtis.
She was asking for.
Nah, she's talking about today. So Curtis, or she could re-clarify, but I think that's what she was saying. But Curtis, you said that America was flooding your media with American things. James Brown. How is that possible? Wait, hold on. So which country you from again? Ivory Coast. Right. So how is America playing? Like, how do you have that power to play American things in your country?
My country just got independence in 1960 from the French.
Right.
And even took over in terms of culture. We were dancing. 1975. We were watching Soul Train in Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
TV.
So who? Right. So how did America become like the controllers of your media, your TV and radio?
Some African who sugarcoat and say things that are not right. Look, America dominate the world. Period. Even you understand?
See, it's true, bro. It's true because.
Hold on, please. Hold on. America dominates the world. So to say that, oh no, why America? America has a print on Earth. Even in France, we went to France. America have influence on the French music, French media.
Yeah, but
in 1960.
Bro, what? Bro, but the proper term, you need to say that America, they are the biggest thieves in the world. That's the proper term. But when you try to make it look like it's an influence,
Yeah,
you are
let Helen.
Things can be true at once.
Yeah, let Helen read. He's from Uganda.
He's calling being a thief. I don't understand that. Okay, so then what's your point? So what's your point?
How you doing, bro?
Because you don't like it, bro. Yeah, you don't.